Hi, my name is Lakesha from the Lakesha Network. I am here to remind you to go to your Google or Apple App Store. Simply type the word LAKESHA and then search to install and download the Lakesha Alert app to stay up to date on my new superior features. Subscribe to my YouTube page, opening up your app and clicking menu. Click on the About Us tab. Try to get familiar with my software and also teach it to your loved ones. And get your household familiar with my information. It will be useful in the future. You're welcome in advance.
Okay, here we go. Testing. How we doing? Hey, everybody out there. How y'all doing? What's up with the chat? Know what I'm saying? We gonna keep it going. They got me behind the boards now, so we out here. I'm saying, who we got first in the building? We got Nighthawk in the building. What up, Nighthawk? I got your email. You got your stuff. So you got your stuff. We got Joe 47, Reginald Green, the behind the scenes king back there. We got Cherokee Outlet in the building. Mr. Dark Brother, what's up? Good to see you. American is Kemet in there. Smoking Big up in there. IMU, what up? Also, peace and, a shout out to all the people that have services, all the vets and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Yo, you guys put your lives on the line and y'all some part of the reason why we still here. You know what I'm saying? So we definitely got to give it up for y'all. Oak Cliff Tip, hey, how you been? We got Joseph in the building.
OG.
Yep, and we got a nice little panel up here too, y'all. We got Trek Life up in the building. Who else we got up in there? We got Nonetheless. What up, Nonetheless up in there? So yeah, so yeah, we gonna get it in. You know what I'm saying? Who has the right to self-govern? And so this is a topic that I wanted to build on. But now that we got a squad, we got some of the juggernauts up here. We might as well go ahead and build on it. You know what I'm saying? Because this is what it's about. This is what separates us from any other body that's on this land. If you're African American, you do not have a right to self-govern. If you are anything other than an indigenous person, you do not have the right to self-govern. Now you do have the right to, to have connections. And I get the picture that, a lot of these organizations are here, and they here to give us schools of thoughts. They also here to, help us, get us off drugs, give us a little culture, and also give us some connections. You know what I'm saying? You might have some, people in Alaska that you could connect with. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of these organizations is not that bad. But they are not here to form or to take on the advantage of self-government. And only one people have the right to self-govern. Nobody else has that right. And that's only the indigenous people. So all other people, whatever you call yourself in the morning or tomorrow, sure, you might have a good school of thought, and I don't mind the schools of thoughts. I commend those. But when it comes to self-governance, only the indigenous people has that right, and that's stated by law. And we got Cody Key up in here. He's gonna break that down a little bit. Cody, you want to go into the book a quick second before I go in for like about another 2 minutes, or you want to chill out?
I'm gonna chill out. I'm over here.
Okay, yeah. So I'm just only here for a couple more minutes.
Let me get in here for a second, Ty. Let me get in here for a second. Shout out to the panel. Shout out to the chat. I just want to say, this topic that we're talking about, right? It's imperative to understand and internalize, because this is what every other, let's just say, phenotype of people is focused on, right? And it goes back to your identity, your culture, and your birthright, right? And that's something that has been usurped from our people. So the topic at hand is who has the right to self-govern. Is basically correlating with saying we are in a system which is being governed by an outside entity. If you actually study the logistics of the laws in their inception and how they work, right, then we've always had the right to self-govern. And we are the only people on this landmass that reserve that right. And there's several different factions of people who are currently trying to assume that right, because of the misconception of who our people were historically. So we just gonna address a couple of things and tie that in and how they utilize that within law, and how they get you to acquiesce your birthright or give up your birthright.
Right. So if you are Aboriginal, that's one thing that makes you special and separates you and puts you above over any school of thought, over anybody that had hardcore connections. Because we're not talking about connections. You know what I'm saying? Because we all hear the stories of the Masons get pulled over and they do a little handshake and they get let go, and people going in the courtrooms and they recite a little saying something and they get let go. You know what I'm saying? That's all cool. You know what I'm saying, for a fraternity or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with that. There's no knock to that. But I think people mistaken that connections and being enlightened, I think they mistaken that from self-governing. You see what I'm saying? That's no comparison. You know what I'm saying? Because if you look at, let's say for example, Barack Obama, he would be an African American. He probably one of the most powerful African American that I know of, and he himself do not have the right to self-govern.
Excuse me, Ty. No, he's not an African American. He's a white boy.
Come on, auntie. Come on, auntie.
I'm telling you.
I know,
okay, y'all help
I'm
me
trying
out
to make
with
a
that.
point. I'm
Okay.
just let me make my point, auntie. But that's what people see him as. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, the white boy or whatever he is, you know what I'm saying? He have African descent or whatever, melanated, some melanin, whatever however you want to break it down. Okay, he's pretty powerful. You know what I'm saying? And that's just my little logic. Maybe he's technically not, but Right. But he don't even have the right to self-govern. So when these people come to you, with these ideologies and stuff, and they say, yeah, man, you join the group, bro, nigga, we gonna plug you in, man. You gonna be able to walk down the street and get your nationality, and you know what I'm saying. We got brothers out there with machines, and they own oil companies, and they do all that. Be like, yeah, that's cool, that's dope. Don't get me wrong, that's dope, but don't confuse that with the right to self-govern. Because there's only one people on this land that has that right. And so a lot of people don't understand that's what we're after. That's what we finna start doing, and that's what we finna start implementing is self-govern. That's what all this stuff is about. You know what I'm saying? It's about having our own and governing our own. You see what I'm saying? And sure, anybody, some foreigners can come over here and buy a block and have some people ratting around like they cops. You know what I'm saying? So anybody can actually, have a form of that, but to legally do that, only one people can do that. And that's the indigenous people. And so if you are, so whatever you are, like if you are more Hebrew, you know what I'm saying, that's all good, because I think all that stuff plays a factor in, and I think we downplay them so much that I think a lot of people don't really see the power in some of those fashions. But also, some of those fashions do get, you know what I'm saying? But who don't? Everybody get weird or whatever, because Aboriginals get weird too. But don't confuse being connected with self-government. So, to the American Moors, to the American Hebrews, to all the American people out there, you know what I'm saying, and everybody else, if you want to get your reparations, that's all cool. If you want to, go down your African heritage or whatever you want to do, man, that's dope. Do you. But just don't stand in the way of some people just trying to self-govern, because that's just wrong, and it's very disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? We ain't got all the answers, and we ain't got it ain't like we have a 100% roadmap, but we got some stuff, and we're doing it. So I want to say thanks to everybody, all the juggernauts out there, everybody that's been supporting, all up in the chat. You know what I'm saying? Don't forget to get your tribeup.app, originaltribalwear.com. Don't forget to get your Lakesha app, man. We out here. It's finna go down. Peace.
Peace. This is going down, y'all.
So, Dakota, let's go ahead, Chief.
You heard me.
It's on Chief. real quick.
Yeah,
Go ahead and get that
yeah,
in.
Code. If you want to, man, you can break it. You can break out the little law side of it a little bit, and break it down lawly because it just kind
Excuse
of seems
me,
like I'm
y'all.
talking shit right now. But
Excuse me, can I say something? Somebody's addressing me. American is Kimmy. You keep coming in here with that bullshit. I don't know who gave you a ranch, but you don't sit and address me because I'm not a feminism. I know what I'm talking about. If you need to get on this panel, you need to get on here. But don't address me
He said that same bullshit every
all
goddamn
the
week.
time. See, he needs to not be in here. He needs to go over there with them committed motherfuckers.
auntie, it's okay.
No,
So
don't auntie me, Ty, because these people need to get a grip. We don't need this over here. We've been over here all
Nope.
right.
Exactly. Take that shit on. Put you all in your panties. You got panties. You ain't got boxers on. You got panties on. If you worrying about the feminine energy.
hey, Coda, do Native Americans have a right to self-govern?
No.
Okay,
That's the short of it.
Not according to law.
Not according to the law at all.
so Native Americans are federally recognized. So that means they got to sign up paperwork, and they got to have
They have
certain.
to follow
They,
the
hold up,
and all of those that
you cut out.
I said they have to submit to the terms and conditions of the contract that allowed them the status of a Native American.
So basically, are you trying to say that they just another wing of the government, like the FBI and the fucking something like that? They get paid like they do or something. I mean, how does that work? Do they get allowances? Do they get paid? Like
Yeah. This is what you got to understand, Ty. If you're a tribe, right, you're a part of the government, and you're in the status as a minor to the Corporation of America, and it's strictly stated within the law. Can y'all still hear me?
Yep.
Right.
So they do not have the right to self-govern. So let's break down self-govern. You know what I'm saying? Because when we say Native Americans, that's only on certain land. Because if you look at Mexico, you know what I'm saying, Mexico would fit the description. They would, they got their own, land. They got their own, fully functioning government. They got their own direction. They got their own currency. You know what I'm saying? They can change their language right now if they want to. So Mexico would be pretty much a self-independent, self-governed nation or community. You see, so Mexico fit the bill. But why come the Native Americans here in America, why come they can't have that same thing? And so that's what I think a lot of people don't understand. You know what I'm saying?
Let me bust that out a little bit. Let me touch on that a little bit if I may.
Yeah, go ahead. You gotta bring your mic up a little bit. That's cool.
Oh, can y'all hear me? Check 1 2.
Okay,
good.
Yep.
We good? Y'all got me?
Yep.
All right, so just to make some clarity, Mexico ain't even self-governing. See, the thing is, America is broken up into what they call 35 independent states of the Americas. All of those 35 independent states of America come together to make what's called the American Union, affectionately called the United States, which is actually called the Organization of American States, which include places like Mexico, Antigua and Barbuda, St. Lucia, the United States of America, Chile, Canada, Cuba, and the rest of the 35 states of America. Notice I said the United States is one of those states of America. None of these people are quote unquote self-governing. The charter governs them, and our Constitution governs that charter. So we govern them all the way around. Our problem is they got into a lot of our seats. There was a lot of war takeover and all of that, and brainwashing and going on, but definitely that's what happened with that. However, no matter all of that, the contracts were signed, sealed, and delivered. And if you lose, you don't really write the contract. So, with that being stated, the contract that binds even the United States of America up is called the Constitution, and the treaties, which are the supreme law of land. So, the people of America, from Antigua, Barbuda to Venezuela, Canada, Jamaica, Mexico, Nicaragua, Ecuador, El Salvador, Grenada, Paraguay, all of our people prior to the United States being a thing said, look, to keep the peace and all of this stuff, and they wanted to do a little business and all of that stuff, created a constitution for their behavior upon our soil. Those people, entitled the United States of America, turned around and created another company called the United States, that they affectionately called the United States, which called the District of Columbia, which was established for commercial and municipal purposes. So you got a United States corporate inside the United States that we got to deal with some colonizers inside the United States called this America thing. Hence the, it's a play on words. So none of these entities are self-governing per se because they all have to go according to law. And it's through the law that they are bound by the law. They're not above the law. They can't make up stuff on their own. Not law. They can make up codes, statutes, and policies for their municipal corporations, but that's not law.
Hey, Cody, your mic kind of low.
Copy that. But that ain't law right there. I don't know. That's the it right there. That's all I get. So definitely, with that being said, the laws that govern the land, supreme laws of land, they have to adhere to that. So starting at the Constitution, just to give a little insight, the preamble, to remind people, some people may have heard it, it kicks off with we, the people of the United States. That United States is the 35 states that make up America, which include Canada, Chile, the United States of America, so on and so forth. And you can find that information by typing in the Organization of American States. Go to their website, read their charter, look at the permanent members and observer members and all of that, and you get to see America. That Mexico don't exist, nor does any of these other things really. It's all America. And can't nobody who's foreign to America be self-governing in America because they all got to adhere to higher laws. It's our house, not theirs. Just to be clear. And only the people whose house it is can self-govern themselves. Everybody else get privileges. Just as like when guests come into your house, it's not okay for the guest to bust in your house, take over your house, start wrecking your house, and terraforming or reconstructing your house, rebuilding your house, redesigning your house, kicking down walls, building doors in different places and all of that. Restructuring the rooms without your permission. I don't think anybody that's sane would allow that. So when you have guests in your house, they have to abide by your laws. And if they get rowdy and unruly, you kick them out. That's how it works. Right or wrong, guys? I mean, am I right or wrong, people? Am I wrong by saying that?
True.
Come on now.
Okay. So with that being stated, no one can be self-governing in your house. You give them privileges. But like you said, it's not the same as self-governance. It's a privilege. It's just a privilege to do a thing while you visiting. A privilege may be the bathroom is right there. You know where it's at. You good. You ain't got to ask no more. A privilege could be you know where the sink at. You know where the glass is at. Go ahead, get a privilege. Right? You have the privilege to even be in the house in the first place. But if I make a law or rule for you that says you can't wear shoes in my house, as a visitor, you have to abide by that. But my children could run around with shoes in the house. I could run around with shoes in my house, but you can't. You feel me? No matter how bad you might want to run around with shoes on, you just can't do it being a guest. So we created this Constitution as the house rules for the guest. we being the people, the many nation states, the many nations of America, what I mean by that, the many nations of Aboriginal American people, so-called Indian. We've been doing this government thing since time immemorial. Congress and the Senate agrees and enshrined our rights and protected ourselves within the contract called the Constitution. And we're going to touch on that, and then we're going to move into international law that backs up that. And then we'll go back into some U.S. codes that enforce what we've covered, so to be complete.
Right.
We'll have the law.
Gotta
If you
have
breach it,
amnesty in it.
Also, Coda, I did. You know, I told you about the channel, the Keeper of the Kodaks. You know what I'm saying? The Keeper of the Kodaks. You know what I'm saying? I told you that was probably going to be one of your channels. So if y'all do want to, you know, get listen to more of Coda Kibe, you know what I'm saying? You can describe there. You know what I'm saying? So he do got his own little channel. Keeper of the Kodaks. He got classes these little classes every every Sunday that we do. I've been a little busy, but it's all good. I still make it when I can, and we run it on that channel, and then we're gonna try to sit down and get some more classes and stuff if we, if we don't do it on this channel, because we know some hardcore personalities, and but if you're new in the chat, you come on the panel, understand something that we have been through some stuff. About 6-7 months ago, we've been through some stuff. Some guys had to try to throw a coup on our channel. So when you come on and you knew, what I'm saying, just we're gonna just endure it. You know what I'm saying? Some of us got some egos, some of us got some super egos. But once once you break through all that, you're gonna see the real us. You know what I'm saying? So we appreciate all the new people that's been coming out on the panel. You know what I'm saying? I hope you can respect, what we've been through, and but we some good people. But this argument shuts down all BS. Okay, all BS. Anytime somebody come to you, oh man, you this, and I'm this, and I'm that. Say, what do you do? Y'all got the right to self-govern, and then say where. You see what I'm saying? And then when they ask you that, then that's what the the UNDRIP, the ADRIP, that's where the laws come in at. So the laws state, that the Aborigines of this land has the right to self-govern. But see, a lot of people don't know that because they used to saying, oh man, you join my group, man, you gonna be connected, bro. Man, we got dudes over there in China right now making stuff. Man,
we got. Let me say this. Can I say this right quick?
Right, in the Constitution. Yep.
Can I say this right quick so y'all can deal with this? Self-educated truth seeker says that the United Nations is run by Jews to offset us pretty much. So you got people teaching against what you're teaching. So I just want to let you know so you can.
Okay. Yeah. We ain't talking about that. You know what I'm saying? We just talking about the laws. The laws do state that.
What they're saying is, listen, the UNDRIP or the United Nations is just another facet or avenue that we tried to take, or some of our people try to take to protect our people. Like you can't delegitimize the work of what some people have done on the for a lot of other people who probably don't even know about it, just because of some organizational misconception or whatever the case may be.
Right. But that's not our point.
From what our brothers and sisters did to get the UNDRIP or for there to be an AMDRIP.
Right. Yeah, I mean, he got some merit, you know what I'm saying? Because, at the end of the day, you can't trust a lot of them, but the law do still state that. So we're not trying to say that, we just, everybody going to bow down to us when we get our shit together. We saying the law do state that, and the law does state that. So that's the point. That's the point we trying to make.
We think the UN is going to come in
and just save us and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Because the United States has been doing what the United States has been doing for the last 800 or whatever years.
Right. Yeah, it don't work like that. But the law do state that the indigenous people do have the right to self-govern, And so this is what everything is all about. This is what all this is all about. Now I know a lot of people been inside the social political war, because we got a social political war, you know what I'm saying, with different other groups, different schools of thoughts, and sometimes that can be fun. But understand, you know, sometimes it's just social political. You know what I'm saying? That's where it starts at. But
It's still war.
where it's going to end at is we're going to be self-governed. You know what I'm saying? And ain't nothing nobody going to do about it. So it might start off social political, jokey, hee hee, ha ha, that go back to Africa, this, that, ha ha. It might take on that little appearance for a little bit, and you might see a little bit of that, but eventually, you know what I'm saying, it's going to morph into something, you know, a little bit different. But the social political war is always, it's never going to go nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's going to bow down and just be like, oh, y'all right. You know what I'm saying? But when you ask them, okay, you a ADOS, okay, do you guys have a right to self-govern? No, you do not. There's no law that states that. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? There is nothing that back that up. So sure, you might get some money, you might have some connections, you might be more educated, but you still don't got the right to self-govern. So I win. I'm Aboriginal. I win. I won. Case closed.
Well, it's time for that to happen because a lot of different organizations have been usurping resources that we could have utilized to manifest our realities prior to this. You know what I'm saying? But because of the confusion and the misconception of who we are, you know what I'm saying, it wasn't allowed.
Right?
Like that.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. You good? So I guess I'm gonna address this first to, I guess, put something to rest about, like, I don't know, was something brought up with the Native Americans, for example. And the question was asked, do Native Americans, or those people who consider themselves Native Americans, do they self-govern themselves? And let's let Title 25 of the U.S. Code, Section 71, outlines future treaties with Indian tribes, so to speak. And then we're going to get into the terms what an Indian is according to Title 25. And then we'll see what an Indian is according to the Constitution. And we'll see if they match up. And we'll note the differences. So, U.S. Title Code U.S. 25 deals with so-called quote-unquote Indians. But the Indians Title 25 deals with are the Alaskan people who got caught up in the Alaskan land purchase from Russia. A lot of people don't understand that Alaska or Russia held so-called purported ownership over so-called Alaska. And so-called United States purchased it for like $1 million or something, or $10 million. Something crazy. Small like that for all that land, supposedly. And the people, what to do with those particular people who have migrated from Siberia or northern Turkestan and Tartary, when they came and settled at our permission in those lands known as the Alaska Territory region, etc. Title 25 governs those people, and it states 25 U.S. Code, Section 71, future treaties with Indian tribes. Listen carefully. It states no Indian nation. Now, there's a few different types of Indian nations, but these particular Indian nations is Alaskan and Aleut blood and all that, of which we're going to get into the definitions. But no Indian nation or tribe within the territory of the United States, here's the kicker, shall be acknowledged or recognized as an independent nation, comma, tribe, comma, or power with whom the United States may contract by treaty. That's like slam
That's the
dunk
hijack
right
right there.
Slam, right. So they saying they ain't the treaty Indians, they some other Indians. It states, but no obligation of any treaty lawfully made and ratified prior to March 3rd, 1871 shall be hereby invalidated or impaired. So what they saying, if you the real Indians, then that's all good, the Constitution Indians. If you some other Indians, then you get all of these U.S. codes about to be put on you. Indian tribe, etc., native, etc., and the terms that they use. And it goes on to state, and then let me kill it. And it says such treaties. Oh, I'm sorry. It says such treaties and any executive orders and acts of Congress under which the right of any Indian tribe to fish are secured shall be construed to prohibit, in addition to any other prohibition, the imposition under any law of a state political subdivision thereof of any tax or income derived from the exercise of such rights to fish secured by such treaty, executive order, or act of Congress. When we go to the second section, it gets very interesting. 72 states, whenever the tribal organization of Indian tribe is in actual hostility to the United States, the president is authorized by proclamation to declare all treaties with such tribe abrogated by such tribe if in his opinion the same can be done consistently with good faith, legal, and national obligations. And then you look up Indian tribe. The term Indian tribe means any Indian or Alaskan native tribe, band, nation, pueblo, or community that the Secretary of the Interior acknowledges to exist as said Indian tribe. Well, let's dive deeper into the tribal organizations with these Indian tribes. Let's see if we could glean something else. The term tribal organization states the recognized governing body of any Indian tribe, band, nation, pueblo, or other organized community, including a native village, as defined, this is the important part, the definition to this whole thing, as defined in 1602C of Title 43. Whoa. So you mean all governing bodies and all Indian tribes and Indians are defined in this section right here. So I'm going to pop over to U.S. Code, USC 43 USC 1602, if you want to follow along in your browser. So I'm simply copying it and pasting it from out the codes into Google. I'm just going to take me to a different part of the codes. It's a little easier. Copy, paste, action, boom, I'm putting it in. And let's see what they state. 43 USC 1602, which is definitions for the Title 25 section, states a native means a citizen of the United States. Not only that, who is a person of 1/4 degree or more Alaskan Indian. See, those people, including Tishman Indians, not enrolled in the Metlaka Indian community, not enrolled in that.
So now they're getting specific so that they can prop these specific.
This is the specificities for that governs them. And this is what everybody misses is the definitions. The definitions give you the specificities of it all.
Right. Can you everybody know where to find that at? Everybody know where to find that link at where he's reading from? Well, anybody don't know where to find that at? Let us know in the chat.
All you got to do is type in 43 USC 1602 and you'll get it.
Right. We got a couple questions out there too. Sorry about that, but sorry about that. We got Uptown Down. Thanks for the donation. We appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? We got a dude called Be Busy. He got a question. I can't find it, but he said he had a question. The Navajo tribe. Anybody answer my question? What's your question? Can you state your question again? Real quick. Sorry about that, Code. I know you's on your bill, but you just went in straight 16. So I bet you I can tell you the answer before.
Well, you asked the question.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Um,
I'm not sure. But
Cherry,
but
he's
but
probably
but
going to ask about a specific situation of hearsay about a specific tribe that historically it doesn't actually distinguish these
Exist.
certain
And it
people.
doesn't. They all come under Title 25 as
right.
far back as the 1800s. So all of them tribes was created then. But before we get into any tribe, and I am going to finish that, I just want to touch on people should know the definition of tribe. If you're going to use the word, you might as well understand what it means so you can use it properly.
Oh, he said, are the Navajo tribe native or Aboriginal?
All of them joints is native. They ain't Aborigine.
That will be native. Also, man, let's keep it real. This stuff is not going to be easy, and it might take generations. Who you know what I'm saying, but it's not going to be easy. So although we come up here and we cocky and we got our little attitudes and our little egos, because we know we can do it. We know we can do this shit. You know what I'm saying? So, but no way so ever we think it's gonna be a walk in the park. Like we just gonna walk up to a building and they just gonna be like, yeah, y'all can have this. Like thank y'all. You know what I'm saying? So, but at least we can lay down the groundwork so we can know the next generation can have somewhere they can shoot for. You know what I'm saying? They can have
Let
somewhere
me
they
explain.
can shoot for. You know what I'm saying? If
Let me
you see what
explain
I'm
where that
saying?
cockiness comes from.
Huh?
When you start to live your truth, and when you start to apply this information, you start to feel confident in what you're speaking
Yeah,
about.
it's
And
not cockiness, it's confidence, is what it is. It's not cockiness.
when
Cockiness
you've
just
actually when
faking
you've
it.
actually applied the information not just by law, right, but even the anthropological and the paradigm that we teach, and when you're able to apply that within your reality and actually see it manifest what you're trying to do, it gives you a certain confidence that can be perceived as arrogance or cocky.
Right, right. Well, I was just saying that to make a point. I wasn't, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't, you know what I'm saying, like trying to, you see what I'm saying? It was just a point. It was, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't supposed to be like but I
No,
get what you said.
It's all good, bro.
I
that's
It's
get
why I
what
all
you
good.
addressed
said.
Go
it
ahead,
that
do
way.
your thing.
But
Do your
yeah,
thing.
thank y'all for telling us about the difference between cocky and confidence. We appreciate it.
Yeah, it's all good. It's
Basically,
all good. It's
start
all good.
But
living
yeah,
this shit.
I'm gonna try to listen. I'm gonna try to keep in, but you know what I'm saying, my son's still woke, so I'm gonna try my
Copy that.
best. But
Do
thanks
your
for y'all
thing.
in the chat. We're gonna try to keep in touch. You know what I'm saying with the chat if we can. But if not, y'all wait till I get back. We'll be out here.
That's
Peace.
what's up. Peace. So I just wanted to touch on the definition of tribe. It was a term created in the late, about the 13th century. And it meant originally one of the 12 division of the ancient Hebrews from Old French. So from now it's French. So what part of Hebrew speak French? None. So from Old French tribal, from Latin triba. So even the older Latin term, older is tribus, which is one of the three political ethnic divisions of the original Roman state. See, we ain't from Rome, people. That's why tribes only pertain to Native Americans, not Aborigines of the land. We might have adopted it as a term of endearment to mean a clique of people, but has no basis for us because we ain't no parts of Roman. In the states that Rome, it was specifically given to the Tites, the Reims, the Lucers, because corresponded perhaps to the Latins, the Sabines, and the Etruscans. Three Roman states, tribes. Later, one of the 30 political divisions by Severus Tullius in 241 BCE. Tribe. That ain't us. Because in 241 BCE, we had the Incan Empire and the Olmec and all of that stuff. Right? We wasn't dealing with that stuff. They stuff. So tribe has nothing to do with us at all. Everything to
Yeah, we
do with
still had
everybody.
confederations.
We had confederacies. Confederations, absolutely. That's what we had. And they never seen that until they came over here. So we had to lock them onto it. But anyway, Title 25, 1602 joint, 43 USC, 1602 describes a native means a citizen of the United States who is a person, 1/4 degree or more Alaskan Indian, including the Tishman, not enrolled in the Metlaka community. It also means an Eskimo or Aleut blood or any combination thereof. The term includes any native or either both who adopted parents are not natives. Also includes, meaning anybody who come here, the absence of a minimum blood quantum, any citizen of the United States who is regarded as an Alaskan native by the native village or native group. So it's all Alaska. The term native village means any tribe, band, clan, group, village, or community or association in Alaska. This is black and white right here. I'm not making it up. As listed in section 1610 and 1615 of this title, or which meets the requirements of this chapter, and which the secretary determined was on the 1970 census, not since time immemorial, but brand new 1970 census date, as shown by the census or other evidence satisfactory to who? The secretary, who shall make what the findings of fact in each instance, composed of 25 or more so-called natives or Alaskan people, people from Siberia, etc. So now we understand what those Indians are. Those are not constitutional Indians. Those Indians did not write the Constitution. To find that definition,
construct of
it's
native.
a socio-political construct, right? Those are the people who got caught up in the Alaskan land trade, period. Because as you keep reading this title, it goes into what is a public land. A public land don't mean everybody land, but public land, as they state, the definition means all federal lands and interests therein located, guess where? In Alaska. Not in the whole of America, just Alaska only. Oh my God. If it ain't on the page, it ain't on the stage. And not only that, one, it is the smallest practicable tract. Small, it ain't even all of Alaska. It's just a little place that they call Alaska inside all of this landmass that people call Alaska. As determined by the secretary. Enclosing land actually used in connection with the administration of any federal installation. See, federal. It didn't say they installation. It didn't say the Native Americans installation or the Native groups installation. It said the federal installation. How you going to be self-governing when the federal government telling you it's day stuff? Only in Alaska. So y'all only got privileges there in those installations only if anybody fit the bill of a Native American, as outlined in Title 25 and as defined by 43 USC 1602, which is the definitions. State, as according to this, means any state of Alaska. Means the state of Alaska, not any. Means the state of Alaska. That's item F. State means the state of Alaska. So again, they're being specific. The state of Alaska. They didn't say the state of Georgia. They didn't say the state of Oklahoma. They said Alaska. So all them joints is right in Alaska. And they just kind of live in Oklahoma and lying about stuff and taking over other people's identity. It's called culture vulturism. The whole term Indian was applied to them by the Nativist Party movement, which originally was the Know Nothing Party. Started in like Ohio.
True. The Native American Party.
Thank you. So all of this pertains to that. And they stuck some people in it called the Alaskan Natives. Hey, let's experiment with these people. You know how they do it. And that's what they've been doing ever since.
They just keep remixing.
Yeah, it's all the same stuff. So they say a person in this means any individual, group, firm, corporation, association, or partnership. So when they say Indians as persons, they ain't even real. And then everything says municipal corporation means general unit of municipal government under the laws of the state of Alaska, not under the laws of the Indians. And the state of Alaska come under the laws of the federal government, so shit, they don't govern themselves. And all of this stuff, all of this stuff is J, which is a village corporation or a native village corporation, which is organized under the laws of the state of Alaska. just like all of these states are organized under the laws of the District of Columbia. They don't really exist. They exist in paper only. And it says it's incorporated as a business for profit or not-for-profit corporation to hold, invest, manage, and distribute property, funds, and other assets, and on the behalf of a native village in accordance with the terms of this chapter. So they got to even be in this chapter. The U.S. Code governs them because it says it's got to be in the court. So they can't
Sound
do
like
shit.
a 501c.
So in a way, you know what I'm saying? Well, shout out to
and the
self-educated
regular
truth seeker,
corporation.
Ether out there. What's up, man? I see you out there scalping. How you doing? So in other words, so they're Indians socially, but not legally. So is that what you're saying? Like socially through Hollywood and through folktale or whatever the hell you wanna call it.
Legally they're Indians too. You just got to know what type. Legally they're Indians. Okay. Lawfully they're not Aborigines.
Okay. So
Aborigines lawfully.
Okay. So you just got to know how to distinguish. But
confines of the
but also they're Indians socially too. Because most people, well, not to us, of course, that's not, but most people usually, when you say Indian, they usually think them. You see what I'm saying?
Well, that's
the social, right? That's the social political battle that is constantly. It never goes nowhere, and a lot of people don't know how that works. You know what I'm saying? People don't understand. Like that's something it's mind-boggling. You see what I'm saying? Because it never stops. You cannot win it. You don't ever win. You see what I'm saying? You can get the upper hand, and you can but you never win. You know what I'm saying?
And it's all penis. So here, further in the definition, within Title 25, Chapter 3, Agreement with Indians, Subchapter 2, Contracts with the so-called Indian, Section 81, Contracts and Agreements with Indian Tribes, state definitions in this section. The term Indian lands means, check this out, and it's in quotes, Indian lands, quote unquote, connotatively, wink, wink, means lands the title to which is held by the United States. So
grants.
And those lands are only located in Washington, D.C. The lands to which title is held by an Indian tribe is subject to restriction by the United States against alienation. Subject. So the United States all up in their shit. They can't alienate against the United States.
And what happened was they implemented that and then took a lot of their land and put it in a trust and put them into that minor state.
Well, they started off in a minor state. They not Aborigine here.
Well, what I meant was when you're talking about the Bureau of Indian Affairs, the natives came to be.
Yeah, the BIA. Well, no, I'm about to explain that now. I'm glad you brought that up. So definition E, we'll go to the law. Definition E is going to answer that question. It states Indian tribe. The definition of an Indian tribe according to U.S. Code, Title 25, which is Indians, Chapter 46, Indian Self-Determination and Education Assistance, Section 5304, the definition state Indian tribe means, in quotes again, means any Indian tribe, band, nation, or other organization or group community, including any Alaska Native village or regional village, corporation, as defined or established, here's the facts, pursuant to the, listen close, Alaska Native Claims Settlement Act. See, it's not us, period. It's only them. In the title codes, we're constitutional Indians. Ain't remotely the same. So these are strictly people from Siberia, Northern Turkestan, Mongolia, Russia, or Tartary, Europe, and Britain, and all of that stuff. These are those people. They're not the original Americans, not by a long shot.
Now,
they
what
got
time
codes and policies out the yin yang to govern them. What's that?
The U.S. title that you're reading at. What time frame was this implemented?
The statute is, I don't know. Shit,
Just give me a base.
1800s.
Is it
I'm
early?
gonna say
Okay.
about
Okay.
late 1800s, not even early, late 1800s, like 1860s, 70s.
It coincides with the history that we understand and know.
Yeah.
To be, which is where I was.
The public law is 85 Stat 668. That states that. So when you read the Alaska Native Settlement Act, they go into how the United States purchased it, and they started, well, what do we call these people? Well, we can lump them in as Indians, but we'll give them a separate designation as Indians. We just call everybody Indians, and that's what they fucking did. Just more confusion. It just adds to more of the confusion. It's one word, they got a triple meaning. You feel me? And if you're not savvy as to what the different meanings are, you'll get caught in a social dogma trap. So when people say
That's
Indian,
true.
you thinking they the Aborigines of the land. But that's through Hollywood and all of that, and Iron Eyes Cody, and Lone Ranger and Tonto, and all of that propaganda and brainwashing that Hollywood made up, that you was watching as a child, in the movies, etc., that they promulgate with all of their actors and their writings and their producers, etc.
Yeah, that's irrelevant. But what is relevant is the depending on what arena you're in, the definition and understanding of whatever you're claiming or proclaiming.
Right. And even self-determination doesn't have the same weight in the United States Code as it does have in international law.
True.
Because it states in here in H, a mature contract means a self-determination contract. So all contracts waive rights, period. That has been continuously operated by a tribal organization. But what's a self-determination contract? And the states is a contract of one objective, which are not readily assignable to the contract objectives. This is a lot of double talk. Specifically, benefit without effort disproportionate to the results achieved. That's a whole bunch of double talk. And it's all pertaining to indirect costs and direct costs. And man, it sounds like a business, like you just property right there. Right?
Well, it makes sense.
So to be more specific, the self-determination contract means a contract which is a grant or cooperative agreement that's utilized under Section 5308 of this title. So in order to understand the finer points of that, you see the rabbit holes, you got to keep going down to really understand it. I ain't going to go through all the detail on this, but definitely let's just call it, they ain't the Indians that we talking about that's in the Constitution.
And in this time frame, this is also the same time that they're propping them up. This is also historically the same time that they're currently usurping your culture and history and telling you a Negro, or whilst bolstering these natives and their identity and history.
Well, that's those natives, but an American, by etymological definition of the term, means one of the Aboriginal peoples discovered in the Western Hemisphere by Europeans. Aboriginal peoples can only be heavily melanated, copper color, and or dark people.
Which is why it was imperative for them to switch that into other social political understandings, a la Indians,
to take us out of the contractual, to take us out of our contractual position
and set in stone by the ancestors.
Yeah, so originally, and the definition explains that as well. It states in the 1570s and before, originally, one of the Aboriginal peoples discovered in the Western Hemisphere by these Europeans. From medieval Latin, Americanus, from America. It states the sense now of a Native American, and they clarify, which is a resident, meaning a foreigner, according to the immigration laws. A resident is a foreigner or foreigner of America, of European, they say of European, you can't be Europe and America, European, originally British descent. So they telling you they are now Native Americans. And how did they do that? By naturalization.
Yep, and that's ill, because when you look at the similarities of what it is today in the reality, right? A lot of people think they own their residence, right? But they're really just paying a residency for some shit they to occupy, or basically they're having the same terms and conditions that the natives had. They're having to do that, and it's like they switched it from a native to a citizen.
Yes, same demo, absolutely. So Aborigines as Aborigine of America, we don't come under none of that. Our stuff is protected by international law and the Constitution, because in the Bouvier's 1856 dictionary adapted to the Constitution of the laws of the United States of America, the Constitution, and the states of the American Union. When you look up the term Indian as it is written in the Constitution and Indian tribes in the Constitution, you get a whole different definition. That definition of Indian states the Aborigines of this land are so-called. So we're so-called Indians. And then you go up to Indian tribes, which is a separate, distinct community of the Aboriginal American Indian race of people found in America. So with those definitions, that ties us into the Constitution because it's adapted to that. So when it states Indians in Article 1, Section 2, Clause 3 is Indians not taxed. That little phrase means we're not only subject to IRS taxes, but the initial charge and also the laws. Like, man, this law is very taxing, or this work is taxing. It doesn't necessarily have to imply any kind of charge or something like that. And then even in the 1860 instructions to the federal marshals, it states Indian not taxed or not to be enumerated. Further evidence of we don't come under their system or jurisdiction. We're not under peonage. We don't have to be on reservations or nothing like that.
Because perception and history will teach you the total opposite of that. And we need to realize, my people, that it was two different systems we working in simultaneously.
Actually, nowadays it used to be two. Nowadays it's whatever state you in, whatever municipality.
Right, whatever municipality. But I'm just saying, in its inception, right?
Absolutely.
You had our shit
and their shit.
And their shit. And their shit was supposed to stay their shit, and our shit was supposed to stay our shit. But somewhere down the line, they got us
wrapped up with
our shit, trying to be with their shit.
Yeah, because they spent up all their money and they got desperate. So we know we could get some more money from, and they start looking at us and taking all our stuff and warring and wanting to take over and all kind of craziness. And it was just a few group of people initially, and more came on the bandwagon. So it kind of worked that way.
It only take a couple of bad fruits or a bad apple.
So when we look at that term as a noun, American, as it's recorded in the etymology dictionary, etymology.com, and as well as Noah Webster's 1828 dictionary and several other dictionaries to look all of this up, in which case they clarify the Aboriginals as being the copper-colored races found here by the Europeans. And pennies are all different shades of copper. And copper takes on a lot of different patinas, from the new penny all the way down to that blue-black joint that's turning green almost, right? That piece. So when you see a penny that's in its prime, or copper in its prime, it has a particular patina. And when you put a copper band or bracelet on, it blends right in with your skin. It don't do that with the Mongolians and the Caucasians and all of that. They don't pass the brown bag test, so to speak. Ha! Joke's on them now, ain't it? They don't pass the brown bag test. Let's use it back on them. They used it on us. Let's use it on them. They don't pass the test. Since they don't pass the test of the copper-colored people, everybody is just lying, because times is getting desperate. Everybody knows the Native Americans came across what they call the Alaskan land bridge from Siberia. They didn't come over long ago, as everybody talking about, but definitely that is where they came. There ain't no discrepancy about that. So they can't be originally from here if they came from somewhere else.
It's another oxymoron paradigm they create for you.
Yeah, two Native Americans can't make us.
Like you native to somewhere, but you came from somewhere.
Right. That's an oxymoron. But native, when you understand, simply means in their construct, anybody who they don't like. So, that's what they do. They call native people natives in Australia, but we ain't them either. So it's just a generic term used for anybody they don't like.
Yeah, I think it was said something about applied to the indigenous people of a geographical landmass where Europeans hold political power.
Yes, absolutely. So that's any and everywhere. So they call everybody they don't like a native. Period. So that's irrelevant to that, but that's just not irrelevant. That's just supposed to show you it's just a derogatory term. Another one. But Aborigines mean the original people from the beginning, and that's who we are. We are the people from the beginning with a long line and lineage from time immemorial. That is who we are. And that document that points out that we wrote the Constitution is enshrined in a document entitled House Congress Resolution 331, 100 Congress, second session, which states, and I'm going to do it in part because I don't have my computer up, but I'm just taking this from the internet, govtrack.us. And it's codified at 102 Stat 4933, October 21st, 1988, House Congress 331, to acknowledge the Iroquois Confederacy and other Indian nations to the development and the creation of the United States and the United States Constitution. Whereas the original framers, including most notably George Washington and Benjamin Franklin, are known to have greatly admired. See, what is it? Can somebody look up the term admire? Can somebody grab that for us and see what the term admire means? Because I don't think people really understand the gravity of that term. Admire. What does admire mean? Let's see what that means. Does it mean they worked on it, that they wrote it? What does admire mean? Because they could have put any word in that position that they wanted to. But the word chosen was admire. So what does that term mean?
Early 15th century.
Hold up, can I interject real quick? Cause I just got something. Somebody disrespect one of the sisters out there. Let me see if I can see what's going on. Cause I'm out. Sister Riona, you all right out there? Somebody just sent me a text message said. Let me see, who is that? Yeah, I can't read your texts. But if somebody disrespect the sister, go ahead and kick them out. If they're a moderator, go ahead and point them out. Let me see. We do got some questions out there. It says type question for Coda. Can federal recognized tribe legally be awarded or given or own any land or landmass of America?
That's a great question. It is oxymoron, and it's a great question. Nobody could own land. Is it okay for me?
North and South America.
No, I know. So here's let me put that into context for whoever asked that. Who asked that question? Because I want to make sure I address it correctly. Do you know? But anyway, whoever asked that question, great question, by the way. And no, they can't. And the reason being, let me put it into context. If I was to break into your house and just take over your house, is that okay? Can I own that? Did he reply back or she? Can I own that? Can I just come to your house and have it?
Can you ever truly own it?
Period. Because you can't own something if you're stealing it. So you can't come into somebody's house as a guest and then years later pretend that you own it. That's why those people are on reservations that the federal government owns. Or runs. I ain't gonna say they own it. Run. Like concentration camps or prisons. Run. You get it.
Right. So I think he's saying are you saying like buying it? I'm not sure, but
They can't buy it. They can't own it. It's not theirs. You can't buy land that's not yours either. And there is no
technically
money.
speaking, right.
And technically, is all that counts. We done talking fantasy.
Right.
And technically,
He got
they don't
another
have
question.
the land to begin with.
Right, it wasn't never theirs.
Fictitious corporation that created that they attached to the landmass.
We got another question. Can a person or a group of people create their own jurisdiction?
Only if you're Aboriginal American and then you already have it. You're not creating one. You're just coming back into your jurisdiction. You can, if you're an immigrant in America, you're just an immigrant in America, and no matter what you do, you come under the laws of the United States codes, statutes, and policies, and the Constitution itself. So no, you cannot, because the supreme law of land is the Constitution.
Right. Let me add something. On a micro level, though, it is applicable, possible to, or basically, let's just say, a certain group of people decided to change the understanding of whatever the paradigm was. That is possible, though. But when you apply it to this understanding and paradigm and law and legally, no. But when you're talking about,
counts as lawful. That's all that counts as the supreme law of the land. In the states, no. The states.
Well, no, I'm just talking about. I'm just
question.
talking about logically speaking. It could be possible that because your jurisdiction is actually, you have jurisdiction because you're willing to fight or protect that jurisdiction or whatever the case may be, right?
But it's still a privilege. It's still a privilege. In
right.
other words, it's still you still invited in my house. You still a guest. Nothing can change the fact that you're a guest in my house. Nothing.
You don't belong. Right. Right.
I can't insert myself into your lineage if I ain't from your lineage. I mean, come on. Hell to the no, and then claim your bloodline, and I ain't got nothing to do with you. No, that's preposterous. You just can't. You could do that in your own house, yeah. In your own house, you could do that. That's why I say Aboriginal Americans are the only ones that can do that. If you're not Aboriginal American, you cannot do that because they got a place called jail, deportation, and all kind of other fun stuff for you to play with.
Okay, so we do got another question. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about self-governing. This is something a little bit different, but we're gonna let it go. The brother says, has any other Aboriginals ever spoke the Latin language?
Several
people. It's not our original language, but a lot of us did learn Latin to communicate with those people. We learned English and we learn Spanish and Portuguese right now. A myriad of our people speak a myriad of languages that's not our own. So we don't come from Latin language. That's not our own language. But we have learned every language on the planet.
Right. But just in case people just got in the room, basically what we're saying is that, there's only one group of people that legally and on the law, it's the sister. I'm sorry. Legally, by law, only has the right to self-govern. Okay, that's what we're saying. Now we're not trying to say that it's an easy cakewalk and you just walk up there. On the record books, there is that states, indigenous people do have a right to self-govern. That is law. You see what I'm saying? No other people has that law. You see what I'm saying? So that's the argument that ends all arguments because this is what this about. You know what I'm saying? We not trying to be a group of people that have some connections in Florida and gotta, know some people up there in Texas and got some connections and shit. And then we can do some handshakes and get out of court and shit. We not talking about that. Like, we don't go to court. We got our own court. We self-govern. We are the court. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we on some other shit, bro. I know it's gonna be hard to fantasize or hard to realize, but this is what we own, y'all. You know what I'm saying? And it's gonna be hard to get it by some broken people, but this is what we own. And if you know what I'm saying? And if people don't get it, just keep it moving because everybody ain't gonna get it. You know what I'm saying? If they don't get it, okay, I heard of that. Oh man, that's some fake online shit with some white boys. Okay, well, cool. Keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? But this is what we own it. This is what we're after. So anything else, like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? This is part of stuff when we say, keep going from your grandma. When you find your grandma and all your type of stuff, keep going. This is where we're going, and we need to lay down this groundwork so when this next generation come up, they can, you know what I'm saying, they can take it over and they can take it farther. You know what I'm saying? Because it's in there it's in there lawfully. Coda just broke it down. You know what I'm saying? And he's just playing right now. He ain't even really got the screen up. You know what I'm saying? So man, we sick him on this community. It's a wrap for a lot of y'all dudes. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, y'all, everybody don't forget to get your tribe up that app, man. Y'all know where it's at. You know what I'm saying? You can go there, start your tribe. It's an app that pays. You know what I'm saying? Everybody know tribe up that app. But this is the argument that ends all argument. So anytime somebody call you something, you let them know. Whatever you call me, well, at least I'm on the record books for being able to be self-governed. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
That's a part of it. It's a constant. You have to constantly rebut the presumption.
Yes, and that's the training. Absolutely. And the law, coming back into it full circle, the law, like we was on admire. So George Washington and Benjamin Franklin and all these cats greatly admire. So we was going into the admiration aspect to show these facts that we was talking about. So here's the proof is in the pudding, as they say.
Right.
So admire.
And also make sure y'all double check. You know what I'm saying? Because we need other eyes. You know what I'm saying? Make sure y'all go out to us, double check this stuff. You know what I'm saying? Check it out. You know what I'm saying? Come on a panel. You found something new. You got some opposing views or something. You know what I'm saying? Have some dialogue. You know what I'm saying? We don't want y'all. We don't want no brain dead ass people out there listening to us like we gods and shit.
But
you know what I'm saying?
Check this out.
But
we're not talking though. I mean, yeah, we're talking now, but I am reading directly from the law of House Congress Resolution 331. You can't debate what's everybody can read.
No, I'm saying, but they can go do it and see it for themselves. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, you can.
Right.
And I gave it to you. I mean, we're giving it to you guys as House Congress Resolution 331, 100 Congress, second session. It addresses the Iroquois Confederacy and Indian nations recognizing the contributions to the creation of the United States and the Constitution. And it states it in those exact words. So when you read in the law, you be like, whoa, look at all of this. But it's important that you know the definitions that are used.
Right.
I'm
sorry. You know what Indians they talking about?
Yes. So
whatever time period it was.
Yes. So for the Constitution, everything has to go through that Bouvier's piece, no matter if it's the first volume or whatever volume, because that's the book that defines all the terms that's used in the United States laws and the laws of the United States of America and the Constitution. You know, it's has those definitions. Whereas the United States Code, every code, when you read it, got their own little definition joint with it. So you got to read those.
Right.
You can't even take that for granted. So it's different from code to code, statute to statute, law to law. Everything is different. And, you know, if you're not savvy with it, man, I mean, it could be a headache. You could be trapped. So without some good training and some good guidance, it becomes a little difficult because one word has 1,000 different meanings, and if you're not getting the right meaning in the right book, then you're colluding one definition, which is in one jurisdiction, with a different definition of the jurisdiction that you're in. So it becomes impossible to understand what you're saying. It's like you speak in English, but you I'm Aborigine, then you could be like Moorish American, and you all fucked up.
And they can change understanding of Aborigine, or at least confuse it to the point where the what you're trying to orate won't be perceived correctly as well. It's like certain tactics that they use.
Oh, they're gonna confuse the crap out of you.
You know what I'm saying? To keep trying to get you to gravitate towards a different social political construct. So they're going to try to tear down one so that you can keep trying to attach yourself to fictitious entities that just acquiesce your rights to it.
Yeah, because that's their job. And when you understand that is their job to make sure you know who you are, it's advantageous just for you to be on your job. And that's what we don't get. This is Earth School. I'm going to remind everybody, they are the gatekeepers, just to keep it real, meaning they're here to test you. Because only you know who you are. Can't nobody tell you who you are. And if you are the great I am within, then you need to know who you are. If you don't, then they own you. And that who names you owns you. Correct?
True.
You name dogs, you name things that you create. So if somebody give you a name, that means they own you.
They're your creator.
And our culture has been taken away because our mothers never named us. They gave us a title, initial title, to separate us from other siblings and from other children in the community. But then there would be a time, an age of enlightenment, where we did this, went on out on a little walkabout, as they to paraphrase a walkabout, where you would go out in the wilderness and you take all the lessons that you learn and you go out and do your thing. And then you will come back. If you came back, you was in one piece. Boom, the ceremony was there, and then you titled yourself. And then everybody in the community had to respect you as that title. Right? That's where the Native Americans get the spirit title junk from, but was our stuff. And the title meant what you was to put into the universe, as well as the symbiotic relationship that the universe would give back to you.
True. And the different attributes that you're embodying that's synonymous with whatever you calling yourself.
What's your calling? What's your purpose on the surface? Absolutely.
True.
So we didn't have, other people didn't name you. You know, like I think Malcolm X said, you know, when I was a child, I played as a child, I played with toys and childish things and all of that. But when I became a man or a grown adult or a woman, keeping it modern now, I put away that stuff. And that's real. You got to put it away. You can't stay in kindergarten forever, being a grown man of 30, 40, 50, 60, or a woman 30, 40, 50, 60, or 20, or 10. 10-year-old to get it too quick. They'll get it quick. But you can't be old for young forever. It doesn't happen. At some point, the gosh bagosh that you might have been wearing, or the granimals you might have had when you was a shorty, you can't fit that favorite pair no more. So you got to leave that alone. You ain't even got that. You ain't even thinking about that, right? So while we constantly thinking about something that somebody made up, a fictitious name, Jesse Jackson, African American, made that up. Melville Herskovitz made up the whole, him and a couple other people, keenly instrumental in making up the whole out of Africa theory. Him and Darwin and all of them was cousins and buddies. And all of them was part of eugenics. All of them was part of eugenics. Charles Darwin, the father of. Francis Galton, his cousin. Walter Plecker, his cousin. It's all the same damn family. Wow.
Yeah, they all the same family.
Come on, the Fords, the Carnegies, all them cats. They made the school system, the anthropology departments, the science departments, the Mesoamerican joints. It's the same thing. The American Colonization Society, the Anglo-Saxon clubs of America.
The Germans.
Man, look, you can call them what you want to. It's a cornucopia of all of them are Caucasian. It don't matter. They all the same family too. All the Asians are the same family. So let's not separate with the skin tone and all of that. They not from here. And everybody that's not from here is taking your land. The Africans are taking your land just as much as the fucking so-called Chinese. And they taking your land just as much as the Mexicans. So I don't know what you're talking about.
I was saying that because if you study historically on the Caucasian and his lineage, majority of the so-called people that we know to be Caucasians have their inceptions from certain different houses in Germany, different things like that. That's what
and you're right. Germany, but what was it called before it was called Germany? Because it wasn't called Germany until after World War II.
True,
so that'd be a problem. So that's what I'm saying. When we talking like this, we have to remind ourselves that we must be as accurate as possible to help people to get it, even if they don't understand what we're saying initially. Maybe we'll say something so profound they will go and look it up. You know what I'm saying? And that's like not going along with the status quo, because we call Germany not Germany. We didn't call India India because it wasn't called India, right? It was called Hindustan. Just like Africa was never called Africa. It was called Barbaria, right? So when we call Barbaria, and we call Germany, it was called Deutschland. It is Deutsch, right? The Dutch. Not even German. Deutschland is sprechen die Deutsch. Right?
Right. That's what I was getting at
The
too.
Deutschmark.
They're all the same little family
German
that
is the
divided
corporate
themselves
construct.
into
German
different
is,
social political constructs,
yes, that's the
and they
construct.
came on what appeared to be different frequencies, but in its inception was all the same shit.
It's all the, it still is all the same stuff. They just chopped up the same pie and gave everybody different pieces of the same pie. Still the same pie. Right? Still the same pie, same lie shit. Can you dig it?
True.
So since it's the same lie, they just feeding everybody the lie in different flavors, but it's the same pie, so it's the same apple pie. It just they market it to you slightly different than they market it to somebody else. Just like hamburger meat. Right.
The McDonald's don't
McDonald's
look the same in Japan as it do here.
Oh, nothing looks the same as it do here. So what you talking about? It don't look the same in Mexico as it do here. So when you go to McDonald's in Mexico, they got way better food and they own stuff, and the menu don't look nothing like this over here. Same way in Chile and Brazil and wherever they at, you know what I'm saying, on the planet. They only like that here because it's for a purpose that they want to do some stuff. There's a reason why everybody is pulling all the whole Earth's resources to fuck us up. People who haven't thought about that one. Everybody that's from the rest of the planet is here to take us out. Think about that.
Yep.
The whole world is here exploiting our resources.
And mutating our land.
Absolutely. So why is the whole world so hell-bent on it? They treat Africans better than us. So
true.
Right? And the Africans' treatment is brought on mostly by other so-called Africans. But these people been fighting since time immemorial, so ain't nothing new. You feel me? Ain't nothing new there. And they drag everybody into their garbage. So here we are. Now we got to get out that joint. And that is where we at, people. We still off air? Copy that. Seems like everybody gone. It's quiet. Church mouse quiet up in this bad boy. Tumbleweed, leaves rustling through the wind quiet. Anybody still alive out there?
Mic check.
Peace,
Yeah,
I got you, bro.
Yeah, I got booted. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, I don't know what happened either. It's like awfully quiet. I see faces. I ain't hearing nothing.
Yeah, they probably done been out for about an hour or two.
Right, we getting it in. That's what's up. Guess I'm about to get it in with the back of my eyeballs then, if that's the case. You feel me?
True.
Tyrant. Now it's hit me. I don't know. It's why I just nice up in this show.
Texting.
Yeah, I got you.
We can hear you, Ty.
Okay, yeah, I just want to make sure they can hear me. Yeah. What happened? We good?
No, it's kicked off air.
We kicked off. No, we live. I was listening a little bit.
I don't know. It says off air on the thing. I don't know.
I just got kicked out the chat, and I came back and it was all quiet.
Yeah, it was quiet. It just got quiet.
Oh yeah, but it's still up and running. They did shut us down for a second, but then they put it back. But it's all good. Who we got out there? We got a couple of new people out there too. We got Make a Down One up in there, Colin Mullane up in there, Dry Bones Rising, GMB out there. What's up? I don't know if you want me to pronounce that or We just gonna make it like that. We got Mark out there, Riona out there. Who else up? Who else up? These hardcore Aboriginals that be up, getting that little extra little knowledge before they go to school in the morning or something. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
Oh yeah, we out here, man. Yeah, we probably they out here. But
Right.
but this is right here, man. This is the subject right here that defines us. You know what I'm saying? Our seeker of truth. How you been, sister? How you doing? But this is what defines us. This is what separates the man from the or from the man from the mouse. You know what I'm saying? This is what separates the the big dogs and the little dogs. It's because self-governed. It should be a real hot topic. So we gotta keep this going. You know what I'm saying? We gotta keep this going because that's what it's about at the end of the day. You know, but but when I think of self-govern, I'm thinking Taiwan, I'm thinking Hong Kong. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking like, man, we can do whatever we want. It's our land. We can do all types of stuff. That's just me. You know what I'm saying? That don't mean it's gonna look like that and be like that. Just as my version of it. I'm pretty sure everybody got their version. And I want to ask, Coda, maybe Aboriginal TV1 if they can, share their version of, you know, self-govern and what that looks like, in the future, you know.
Well, for me, self-governing is just really explaining being able to sustain one's reality, right? So, and that goes and coincides with the governance of self because it's you that dictates your reality. Thus, for if you're in control, and right now, the reality we are living in is being governed by someone else. So once you begin to take control of your reality and your understanding, you begin to govern yourself automatically. You understand?
Okay. Oh, Macadon. Oh, what I say? Megala or Maker or some shit. Oh, Cody, you wanna go in on that? You wanna tell us what you know? Cause I know you've been around.
Yeah, so self-governance means the individual, but the individual as part of a larger whole. In the Constitution, it states we the people, not I the individual,
Mm-hmm.
right? So we the people, as our ancestors stated, we are one people, but we have many nations. Just like a tree is one tree with many roots and many branches, right? It's like our body, many cells, one body, same concept, right? So self-governance is not only governing yourself, but the body or group of people that have established the laws of civilization for us to abide by, not for you to create them as you go along through life, la-di-da, according to whatever your experience level is being brand new to earth, let's say, right?
Yeah.
So when you in it from that perspective, it becomes la-di-da through life, because you'll make up some stupid laws and they ain't real laws, they just statutes, codes, and policies, and you reckon yourself with it. So laws law for a reason because they are immutable. They never change. And everybody is bound by that, especially when you're somebody else's house. And so self-governance, meaning our people as a whole have a right to collectively govern ourselves, meaning many cultures. And they seen that when they came over here. And they proceeded to call those many cultures of the same people. Like today, the things people do in Chicago of our people may not have the same fashion statement as those in, let's say, Detroit, Michigan, or those in New York, or New Jersey, or Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, or whatever, right? May not have the same vernacular, may not speak the same slang, eat the same food, dress the, the whole gambit. That don't mean we different people. That means we just creative. And that's what we do, we create. So since we have a right to create what's called nation states. Our nation states was a form of us managing us, because only God can tell God what to do, so to speak. Since we don't show up on the scene by ourselves, we come through our mothers and the people who came before us. And a lot of those people are still alive and around us today. They set the guidelines and the laws that we came up under, correct? We all was children in our mother and father's houses, correct? Right? And we all had to abide by those laws that they set forth in their house. Did we not?
That's true.
And if you went outside of those laws, you got dealt with. Did we not?
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
So nothing different. So self-governance don't mean just you and get to make up nothing. You got to go by ancestral stuff that was created by the whole, because it makes sense to do it that way. Regardless of what influence it might overcome you, it doesn't supersede the law. So with that being stated, self-governance is understanding who we are, and then based on that foundation, create you something slightly different. Your own style, your twist to it, your thing to it, make it yours. Can you dig it? That was a nation state. And they called many of our nation states different things. Choctaw, Cherokee, Chickasaw, Olmec, Toltec, Aztec, Mississippian, Natchez, Talameco, many, Lenni, Lenape, Delaware, Saluki, whatever. Many names. Many. And those would, some people later become classified as certain nation states. But your nation state is simply your immediate family, to be honest. Because nation means to be born, lineage, and descent. So it's your own lineage, your family, so to speak. But lineage, we use lineage, but some people may equate it to family. Family means slaves, everybody, so we eat that. But so your own lineage.
Right.
And that's your nation. How many people are familiar with family reunions, so to speak? Anybody on the panel or out there listening?
You talking about going to them, or you talking about just the name?
Going to them, having them in general.
We don't really have too
We
many.
talking about family reunion?
We got old timers. You know what I'm saying? We got an old timers picnic.
Family. Anybody have family reunions, old timers, whatever you want to call it, where everybody get together?
Oh yeah, for sure. We have them every 2 years.
Okay, so at the family reunion, okay, good. At the family reunion, didn't help me demonstrate this. So at the family reunion, you got people you ain't never seen before in your life, correct?
All the time, every one of them.
Check this out. And if you was to saw them in the street prior to the family reunion, you wouldn't know who that was, correct?
True.
Okay, so at the family reunion is where all of our lineage come together, or a lot of them at least, and we get to reach out with, because we are wide, but to you, they just total strangers, and yet they're your cousins, and all of these people to you, because that's our lineage. Right. And all of them got different names, don't they? First names and last names, don't they?
True.
Than yourself. But they're still part of your same lineage. So since all of y'all are the same, and y'all at the same family reunion, and the family reunion don't have different names, it'll only have one, don't it? Don't it?
True.
So, since that being said, but everybody got last names that be at the family reunion, that's your family, so to speak. That's how it was over here. We still want people. Call yourself what you want to. You still part of this right here. Period. Same mud, same blood. You hear me?
That's true.
So that's how our culture is, because at the family reunion, it's demonstrated. Thank you for helping me out with that. Because some people never experienced that. So they don't know what we're talking about. And that's unfortunate. But those who have experienced that can help me demonstrate that. Because you see that when you go there.
Because that's dying off.
It is. So it's very sad, because they're dividing us up so much we can't stand the sight of each other. Period. And that has to stop, and it has to change, and it changes and stops with us. And it changes and stops right now. That's
Right.
what it
True.
does.
Somebody had a question about Singapore. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
I
Yeah,
don't care
Singapore.
about Singapore.
Let me see. Yeah, Singapore. No, it's one of those. It's one of those little governed state type things. I get what you're saying. Yeah, I don't do too much on Singapore, but I know what you're talking about. Singapore is one of those too. But I want to know, what's the closest a person can get to self govern without actually, you know what I'm saying?
They
cause
can't.
you
They
got
can't.
people who buy up,
What's the?
they
Let me
buy up
ask
the
you a
block
question.
and
What's
they, what I'm saying, they buy up the block and they, do, got little
Little
plugs.
perks.
Yeah, little perks and little plugs, and it's not self governed, but it's just like, hey, look at me, I'm doing good, and
There.
I bought up my
That's short
project.
lived. That's short lived. Look at Michael Jackson. Look at Bill Cosby. Look at anybody who ever had money who ain't got money no more and who ain't got no house no more, who broke as fuck right now, who ain't got none of the mansions and the jewels and all that stuff. It's monkey business because who prints the money? The Caucasians print the money. Is money legal? No, it ain't. Well, it's legal, but is it lawful? No, it ain't lawful.
Right,
Since
and
they
so
printed, since they printed, since they printed, they don't use it because it's a product that they make. They are printing it. They created the presses that print it. So if they making the presses that print it, well, fuck, they printing it. And they building the computers to transfer the ones and zeros out.
Hey,
right.
So,
So
hey, come
not
and
saying we have to, or not saying everybody want to, but if you did want to under self govern, you can get your own money, right? Your own banks
no,
money.
no,
Is
no.
does that
that's still
qualify?
gonna be under the municipalities and contracts, bro.
Uh huh. No.
You're
I'm
gonna
saying.
always have to link yourself to a certain municipality or a certain status that's gonna put you in a certain persona that's not gonna allow you to assert your birthright.
No. I'm saying if you wanted to. I'm not saying it's the best thing, or I'm not saying
we're saying you can't do that at all. We're saying it is detrimental. It's a
You
landmine.
can't straddle.
You'll blow yourself up because now you come under their jurisdiction if you play with their stuff.
Okay,
You
right,
in their
right,
sandbox, period.
right,
So
Right.
right.
it's no benefit to chase their stuff at all. We never had money. Money holds people back. It was created as a slave collar. Why reinvent the slave collar just so you could be the slave master now? Ain't nobody gonna tolerate that, period, because it ain't your land. So therefore, it's not your in particular resources. It's our resources. Together
Mm-hmm.
we're God. By yourself, you Satan, if you want to look at it that way. So get behind us then and move out the way, or we running you over. That's all that is. So just deal with that. Anybody, everybody, whatever, because the law is just gonna run you over. Because you
Right.
can't come in nobody's house owning nothing under no pretenses, no matter how ingenious the scheme or the scam, as according to the Supreme Court. So they can't do nothing. And they can't do nothing. It doesn't matter how much so-called fake money you got because it's fake. And fake money can't never purchase anything real. You can't acquire nothing real with fake money. It's IOUs. So they still owe you. And they
That's why
can't
they
own
allow
nothing
you.
that they still owe you for.
right, right.
Right. That's
So
why they allow you to
n-
purchase things in the matrix.
now
Right.
what's some of the hardest, like, because I'm thinking, you know what I'm saying, because each person, we all got our own perception of what self government looks like, and and what the future can look like, but at least we have that energy out there, you know what I'm saying, that's that energy, that's what, you know what I'm saying, that the energy that needs to be out there.
Most people think what the future look like is based on nonsense that they've been fed on what the future should look like.
True.
So take commerce, for instance. It ain't our idea, but yet everybody wants their future to have this commerce in it. So that's just perpetuating commerce, which is the thing we want to kill anyway. So if you keeping that beast alive called commerce, then you keep the colonization mindset alive. Just because it's in your skin don't make it any better.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's a lot of our people who sold us out.
Right.
Operation Push, Marcus Garvey and them.
Right.
Tons of people throughout history. Come
Right.
on,
That
name
was
of the
kind
name.
of what I was getting at, but I wasn't done. I was trying to say that, that, some of the hardest things, of being self governed, some of the hardest things that, that I feel we might face is the actual governance part. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know
Well, that
I,
part
I
is
mean,
easy.
no,
That
no,
part
no.
is
I'm
easy.
saying like because it's like who says who get to do what? You know what I'm saying?
Easy.
Like how
If
you
you go
gonna
by
pick?
the,
You know what I'm saying?
it's
Us
easy.
picking who do this and who do that. I feel like that'll be very
It's
hard
That
for us
was
to
easy,
do.
part of the
brother.
franchise.
But
Listen,
but
listen.
but I
It's
wanted to
very
know.
easy.
No, it's just my personal. But I wanted to know what would be yours. You know what I'm saying? What would be your thing that you feel that it would be difficult for let's just say our generation and the next to go through or to try to
Well,
piece it together.
well, I would say reading. Reading would be the hardest thing any generation got to go through because people just don't like to do it. They'd rather get it in YouTube format and all of this other format. And that format and platform don't offer you the in depth that you need to really get some stuff. So first, you got to sit down and learn what it is you're about to get into. That's the first thing. So I'm going to start there. Once you understand that, the rest becomes simple. That's why it's up to the parents to teach the children what it is as different from what it ain't, right?
Mhm.
So that's the first step. I would say stop there. Secondly, self-governance. Most people don't listen to their mother and father, so their self-governance is going to be equally as shitty because if they didn't listen to their mom and dad, their children ain't going to listen to them. So self-governance goes out the window because people in their day-to-day life do have self-governance, believe it or not. It's called your house. And if your house is screwed up, then and your relationships are screwed up, and your children and all of that are screwed up, and everything is in turmoil and chaos, your self-governance sucks. Ain't nobody gonna follow you.
Let me add something, Cole. And a lot of people want our people, everybody want to be self-governed, but much is given, much is expected. And so if you're going to be able to govern yourself, then you must be able to sustain yourself, right?
Yes,
Can't
yes.
you can't be a part of this corporation and then bitch about the policies and the codes and shit they creating that's necessary for them to continue this realization. See what I'm saying? We literally have to get away from everything, or you're gonna continue to be pulled back into it. You gotta
Absolutely.
Yeah,
distinguish
yeah.
yourself.
So you gotta so those who work, those who pick up a pen, those who pick up a broom, those who what I'm saying, those who work and those who get shit done, what I'm saying, you can I mean, I don't know what how that's gonna work. What I'm saying? Is it
Well, we're
so
not saying
because
quit your day job and you can't interface with them. We
mhm,
are saying that once you understand the laws, you won't need as much fiat currency as you might have thought. And once we are consolidated again under whatever nation state or whatever that is, confederacy, whatever have you, then it becomes easier as that community to move forward because the community is being self-sustainable. The community
right,
has land. The
right,
people in the community are helping to grow the food, make the textiles like the Amish. They ain't looking
Right.
for no handout shit. So we could do the same thing, but why we not? Because people love money. They love it so much that it makes them feel better than somebody else, than their own brother, sister, and their own family and their own lineage. So one child get a little bit more money than the other child. They arguing and fighting over the money or the
right,
candy or whatever it is.
right,
That's real stuff. And that just when you grow up, you just still doing the same thing. So the cycle ain't broken. So if you're gonna break the cycle, you got to get away from the crack altogether, so to speak. You got to get away from all of that. No cocaine, no poppy fields, no nothing for you, right? Man, you can't be around glass like that. You know what I'm saying? You can't be around none of that. You got to remove
man,
yourself
Coda,
completely from
Coda,
everything
take away bubble gum, chocolate, jump rope,
because
nigga.
check it
Coda
out.
got. No, I'm just
Hey,
bullshit. I'm just
I ain't gonna
No,
bullshit.
take
that's
away
true.
jump rope
No, I'm not.
or
I'm
chocolate,
playing. It's a joke. It's a joke.
but
It's just a joke.
the bubble gum and all that. But definitely, I get it. It's not taking nothing away. The thing is, it was never nothing to begin
Right.
with.
It's just a joke,
Because
man. That's all.
let me ask you a question. Everything you ever bought ended up in the garbage. So what you're doing is buying garbage.
Yep. Yep.
Everything you
Oh,
ever
don't get me
bought
started on that.
ends
Don't get
up in
me
the
started on
garbage.
bad
So you're
garbage,
just
man.
buying.
That's
So since we're
bad.
buying garbage, what sense does it make to buy? Okay, they came out with the first iPhone, knowing that good and well they was making the 2, 3, 10, 15, 27, right? So you buy iPhone 1, and then you throw it in the garbage because iPhone 2 came out. You throw that in the garbage because iPhone 3 came out. In the garbage 4, in the garbage 5, in the garbage 6, in the garbage 7, in the garbage 8, in the garbage 9, in the garbage 10, and whatever they come out with, because the new and the old get chucked in the joint eventually in the garbage. So garbage is the final destination. You're buying garbage. Your
Yep.
house will fall into garbage. The
Yep.
stuff in your house will fall into garbage and will hit the garbage. So you're just buying garbage. So since it don't make sense to buy garbage, then wean yourself off the garbage, aka the crack. So that's up to the self journey to help with and get back to the land, because garbage pollutes the land. But if we get back to the land, we don't have garbage.
Yeah, true. And just to add on to that, the people is what gives you the power to govern yourself as well, right? If you
Yes.
need help, if you need help to sustain your reality, then you shall be subject to the terms and conditions of the person who's helping you sustain your reality.
Right, and hence a
lot of government.
constitution, and hence a constitution for our self-governance is vital. And we, as the Iroquois Confederacy of Aboriginal American people, so constituted our own government, and it is agreed upon by several and many nation states, and it still can be amended and added to make it more perfect. We want it to be a great foundation. And in protecting people's rights and standing up for our people's rights is what that foundation is, as mandated, right? So since we have our right to do that, and that's what has been done, all the positions have been lined out. It's up to the individual of our brothers and sisters, whoever want the wherewithal to hold down that position and the responsibilities thereof, to engage in that position and to do the things necessary. And those seats get filled from people from different nation states, just as sure as Congress comes from all 50 states to make up this thing called United States in Washington, D.C., correct?
Mm-hmm.
Nothing different. So that's part of self-governance, period. It's an agreed upon universal law of the land that says we agree to do this as who we are as a people. You don't have to agree, and you ain't got to be part of this. But if you do agree, and if it's right with your bones and how you are, feel free to take that as a foundation and style it how you want to and create your culture, because we encourage the creation of creating your own nation state or reviving our nation states and different cultures of our ancestors. Nothing wrong with it.
Right. So in other words, y'all, there's a big difference between, having the law on your side and being self-governed than, going out there and try to buy a abandoned building and work the yard and shit like that. Like, you can always do that too, but when you got the law on your side and you know what I'm saying, it's you know what I'm saying, you work in a whole nother angle. Because
I think it's
now you're
synonymous, Ty.
generational. Now you're
I think it's
generational, and now the land is being put in its rightful ownership. It's being, you know what I'm saying, it's a lot more bigger than just going out there and you know what I'm saying. Now, don't get me wrong, ain't nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying, going out there and just buy, this is buy a project and just put people in and say we doing something. You know what I'm saying? That has its perks too, but it's nothing like being self-governed and having a law to back that up. You see what I'm saying? So people
that's
gotta know the
different.
difference. People gotta know the difference in what we saying is very
That's
deep.
why all these organizations haven't worked.
Right. That's right.
Right?
That's another reason why a lot of this shit ain't get off the ground, because if they ain't got the law on their side and they ain't
Well,
implement.
it wasn't meant for it to get off the ground.
Well,
Listen,
actually, you know what? I take that back. I don't know, because I don't know too
well,
much about them to speak about. To be honest,
because all of those organizations again fall under the control of the federal government, all of them. So you can't even be like go there because it's always black and African American, this, that, and the third. 501c3s or some other standing or status within under the IRS and the federal government. Period.
And that's the end result.
Well, if you are organized under the United States government, then you fall under the laws of the United States government. Plain and simple. It's
And
not
whatever
it's a
policies or
no-brainer.
codes they create thus
You
far.
stuck with that, and they've been doing it ever since. To this day, NAACP ain't got no pull. To this day, ain't no more NUIA in America. So yeah, what happened to Black Lives Matter? Where they at now? Who heard from them lately? Exactly my point. Nobody. So
he said black. So
Well, it's because they have no actual standing or no basis.
all organizations can just go into bye-bye land just as sure as any grocery store or business goes, out of business. They just been put out of business. That's all. And now they defunct Black Lives Matter, and now they got ADOS.
Right.
Pretty much.
And in a year it'll be something different.
Thank you. So that's what that is. So that's it. That's what corporations give you.
And they're gonna keep continuing to send these agent underfed or changers.
They chopped you up. You got chopped up. Yeah,
you got chopped up.
Yeah, you went.
I was just saying it's necessary that they send these people to try to keep this reality and the way that we understand it to where we have to, or we feel the need to have to be governed.
Right.
Well, absolutely, they want to make you dependent upon them like they're your mom and dad, and that is the whole gist of it, and that is what it is. They create that dependency, and that's a sad thing, but lawfully they don't have any standing. Legally, it is what it is, but lawfully they have no standing, and there's laws to protect against anybody operating under color of law. Right? So they can't even do that. But they can do that. They can do really anything they want to do. But if you don't catch them, that's
because the law is not a law if no one is enforcing it.
I got a question for you, Cody.
There you go.
I don't know how you're gonna take, but I got a question. How you feel about this is just a thought. How you feel about us having our own foreign colonies that bring stuff back to us?
I'm gonna say this, and what I've always stated. Can we fix our own house up first before you thinking about doing anything outside the house?
Well,
our house is jammed up right now. No,
yeah.
Well, if you look outside of your community and that sucker ain't sparkling and everybody happy and cheesing and free to do what they want to do, if that ain't your reality, then let's not worry about going nowhere else. Period. It makes no sense to clean up and create another house. But man,
I'm still young though, so I got imagination.
It is, but
and it helps. It helps my reality to come true. It helps shape my reality when I drift off and I do my little thought process. It helps reshapes the what I need to do now. You know what I'm saying? Because it gives me an extra task. Like, man, if you get this right, bro, you know what I'm saying? You got something. You know what I'm saying? So it just I know
what you're saying, because ain't nobody gonna let you have nothing of their land. You ain't about to go to Germany and own shit in Germany. You might as well get that out your skull. They will kill you, decapitate you, and throw you to the wolves. That's what I'm saying. So you can't never own no land outside of yours to be like, what, an American colony of Negroes? Let's go ahead. Yeah, I'd like to go for it, man. Hey, let me know how that works out. That'll be the
some countries, some countries is welcome, and you never know. You would have to talk to them. You know what I'm saying? You would have to talk to them first.
No, the problem is,
but
it's just listed as a citizen under their government now. So you just jump ship to a different government. So 5 years after you over there and they change the laws on you, well, it ain't no different there.
Yeah, but then again, we can say 5 years and they give us the keys too. You know what I'm saying? So it can go.
Or they could decapitate you.
Right, or they can crown me king. You know what I'm saying? So
they're not gonna crown you king. And
I know, but I'm just saying, if we gonna go with the what if theory, you know what I'm saying?
No, it's not a what if.
You know what I'm saying?
Because so there's ICE. ICE exists right now, and ICE is deporting people to Africa right now, and the conditions they getting deported to are horrible right now. So they ain't gonna set you up with nothing right now, because right now they ain't setting you up with nothing. If they was gonna set you up with something, then maybe 100 years ago they would have been already like, here's lands over here that you can have for free and you could govern yourself. But when you go over there and you read the fine print, all of that stuff comes under their government. And if they government deem to take their land back, that can do that. But niggas don't read the fine print at all. So the fine print be messing everybody up. And then you ain't about to go to nobody's house without no documentation. You won't get past TSA. Nah, you won't get off the block. You can't even get in the Uber without some daggone identification. Miss me. Right? You ain't got nothing coming. And if your identification be like U.S. citizen, well, they ain't respecting you anyway. So now you got to change that all up and become a national and citizen and be a whole nother bag of last class citizen, because they people come first.
And now you playing the game of
Or
trying to fall into
you know what I'm saying?
jurisdiction.
I mean, that can play out too, or it can play out different. You know what I'm saying? Because I
Well,
mean, we
take your
don't
chances.
really know if I never done it before. You know what I'm
Take your
saying? Then I
chances.
can't really. You know what I'm saying? All I can do is have speculation. But I'm a positive thinking person. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like I can do anything. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I can do anything.
I tell people, take their
And
chances.
that could be a stubbornness or whatever. But
Get that
you know what I'm saying? I feel like if we can think it up, I feel like it's possible. You know what I'm saying? And that's the type of energy I like to carry. You know what I'm saying?
Copy that.
Because you know what I'm saying, nobody's God. So nobody cannot tell us what we cannot do. And
Check
that, you know
this
what I'm
out.
saying? But
No
but
one of
some
us is
things
God, but we are God.
is a little too, is a little too, you know what I'm saying? Some things do go into La La Land, but messing around with La La Land is not always like crazy as hell. Sometimes it can make you feel comfortable. You know what I'm saying?
Brother, hey, you sound like the dude in the Matrix when he say, "Boy, I wish I could get back into the Matrix." Ignorance is bliss. That sound like that scene right there. I just want to point that out. But keep going. You sound like my man in that scene right there.
We dealing
I want to
with
go
an
back in the
environment.
Matrix.
So you know what I'm saying, we dealing with a certain type of environment, you know what I'm saying, where
Don't come
people
out the
is
Matrix,
trapped.
then
You know what I'm
you gonna
saying?
stay
People,
in.
well, you know what I'm saying, we live in an environment where people is trapped. And so outside thinking, out of the box thinking, out of the box saying new words they never heard before, new concepts they never heard before. You never know what light it might cut on and what it might ignite in the person. You know what I'm saying? Because at some point in time, each one of us heard something, that was taboo to us, and we checked it out. You know what I'm saying? And it turned out to change our life. And vice versa. You know what I'm saying? So that's you know, so that's what it's all
Are you
about.
asking a question or making a statement? Is
Well,
what
I'm just making a statement, and I'm just kind of explaining
Okay.
myself. But
Yeah.
that's kind of what a conversation, you know what I'm saying, is, you know what I'm saying, when you having a conversation, you know what I'm saying, that's kind of what it's about. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want it to have this stale ass hardcore military style conversation where we just here just drilling each other. You know what I'm saying? Let's you know what I'm saying? I'm not that type of person. You know what I'm saying? I go all over the place. I like to have my personality, you know what I'm saying? And that helps a lot of people, and it helps me too. You know what I'm saying? Because I can't deal with the, you know what I'm saying, with the, like, you understand what I'm saying? Like, it needs
So brother, if I can add to the conversation, the richness of the conversation, we need you right here. And as a woman, I'm going to speak to you as a warrior. We don't have time to go say, "Oh, the roof is leaking at home," but I'm going to just go ahead over here and set up something new where I'm respected as a king on this foreign land. When at home needs you, we need you to repair that roof that's leaking. These
That's called
holes.
colonization right there.
Right,
That's the
I
American
understand what that is,
colonization
but see, you're
society.
taking a conversation and you're making a real life reality.
Man,
It's
we ain't
just
got time to
it's just
play. We ain't
but
got time to play,
we
brother.
have
This
time
is
to
serious.
conversate. A conversation
Oh,
can lead to
yeah.
multiple different things. A conversation can lead to a relationship. A conversation can lead to, some laughter. It can lead to
Oh,
multiple different things.
absolutely.
And so when we're
Absolutely.
conversating, you know what I'm saying, it is good
But
to
we ain't
ignite
talking about the
different, you know what I'm
conversation
saying, different
aspect.
types of emotions, and you know what I'm saying. So everybody's different. You know what I'm saying. Having one tone, one thing all the time, that's cult. That's cult shit. You know what I'm saying. I'm gonna keep it real. That's cult
But
shit.
listen,
You know
Ty,
what I'm saying. And
how
we're not
else
with that shit over here.
How else can you unify if you don't have a foundation to unify
But
with?
you not understand what I'm saying, bro. I'm
There
saying
is
a
no train of thought,
conversation. I'm
Ty.
talking about a conversation
I
for
understand what you're saying.
conversation's sake. I'm not talking about let's get together and get a pen and paper and let's draw this out. I'm not talking about a schematical conversation. Now, in a schematical conversation, we deal with the realistic 100%. This is it. This is that. You know what I'm saying? But when we just having a conversation in the barbershop or some shit, we just having a conversation at the bar. You know what I'm saying? We
See,
just
you
having
want
a
that.
late
We
night
not that. We're
conversation.
not that.
You
We
you
are
you
not
see what I'm
that.
saying?
I
Whereas
do, and I
you see what
understand
I'm
what you're
saying?
saying. You want,
So
but Ty, so hold on. Let me say something. Now we heard you say all of that. So
right.
allow me to address that. We're not those people. So I don't go to bars because there's nothing at a bar for me. I don't do light bullshit conversation because bullshit don't solve problems. We're in a crisis, right? We talking platforms that solve problems, crisis proportion. After you get back from the club, your problem still is there. After you get back from the DJ set and whooping it up, your problem's still there. Erica Badu and a lot of people got a lot of damn problems because there's a lot of contracts involved with helping people to have a good time. So after the partying is over, you still stuck with the bills, the children, and and all of that stuff. So the problem is still there. And so if we ain't fixing the problem and don't nobody want to listen to how to fix the problem, then there's no point that you could be Aboriginal. You just go keep on being an African American, doing what you do, and it
Or a
don't matter.
citizen. Right.
Right. And it don't matter. But what we are Aboriginal Americans. We ain't gonna do nothing but talk about this 24/7 till our people get it, because we are in crisis. You might not be in crisis. You might not see things the way we see things. If you have married outside of your people, that's what that is. That's what that is. I mean, that is just what that is. And of course, people might identify and adopt a foreign mindset. And that's cool. And I'm not knocking nobody who do go travel, knock your socks off. You feel me? Do what you gotta do. But we are building for our people here in America. So we're not gonna tear our stuff down just so we could build up what we already know and what the whole world is already pushing. We don't want that. We're not looking for that. We're looking for what we can talk about this 24/7 so people can get it, because a lot of people out there really want to get it. We could kick back and talk about Africa Bambaataa and whatever new current events that's going on and all the distractions, but that's taken away from how do we get it? How do we move forward? Somebody over here losing their children, somebody getting kicked out their house over there, somebody getting beaten, killed, and shot in the street. And when it happens to you or somebody you know, it'll become real then. But until then, I guess it just becomes, well, that's the way it goes on YouTube or on
Right.
TV, because it doesn't happen to me. I'm better
But
than
this is
that.
real life.
Absolutely.
Right,
So
and
we
that, and
dealing
that's
with a
and
real
that's my
situation.
point. That's
Real
my
life.
point. That is actually real life. You know what I'm saying? And there's real people out here. You know what I'm saying? And if we go around like, you know what I'm saying, like, if we go around putting our thoughts on everybody and going around trying to, it's like we're trying to design. It's like we're trying to design some people. You know what I'm
Let me
saying?
Ask you a question. You're putting
But
your
hold on. Let me
thoughts,
let me finish. And
they have already
it
put
seems a
their
little
thoughts on
cultish.
us.
You see what I'm saying? When it's like we're
Hold
trying
on.
to design them. You know what I'm
Hey,
saying?
So
And
hey,
here's
so,
the problem.
what is a cult?
but just having a dialect in the conversation. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying?
It is, because what do we talk about? Money,
But hold on. Let me
football.
finish. You know what I'm saying?
I
And
mean,
so. And so we have them all the
focus.
time. You know what I'm saying? When you call up your moms and when you call up your kids, you guys have a conversation. You know what I'm saying? Your personality comes out. Y'all have some laughs. You call up an old cousin. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It's normal, man. You know what I'm saying? And without it, it's not reality. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
Without a normal everyday conversation, it's like you know what I'm saying? It almost begin. It's like we're trying to design some people or something.
No,
You see what I'm
that's
saying?
because I think that's because you got to look at it from two different perspectives. From someone who has sacrificed everything to come to this understanding, it's not like that whatsoever. But for someone who has never had the gall or who has never attempted to actually implement the information and understand it till its fullest extent, You know what I'm saying? And not play games around it, but actually sacrifice what it takes to come to this understanding. It's gonna look a certain way to someone who's never been through it. It's just like prison. If you ain't never been to prison, you gonna have a perception about it, and you gonna think you know about prison because you watch MSNBC. But in true reality, until you have actually went through that experience, you can never truly internalize what people who have is trying to project. You see what I'm saying? It's always going to be a disconnect there.
Have you ever talked to somebody about being in prison?
I've been to prison, Ty. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Hey,
Well,
I've been there too, bro.
Well, you know,
I've
well,
been
you
there
know,
too.
well, you know,
So
what, I never,
know.
I never been in prison, but I talk to people. You know, what I'm saying, I have a conversation about it. You know, I'd say, I got cousins been to prison. I got
Hey,
cousins in
and do
prison
you
now.
argue? Hey, Ty, do you argue with them about the shit that went
No,
down in prison?
it's not an argument. We just have a conversation.
No,
That's
but I'm
all.
just saying.
And we leave it there. You know what I'm saying?
Do
We
you
don't.
project
You know what I'm saying?
your perception of prison on them to the people who actually been to prison?
No,
Or do
like
you?
I said, we just have a conversation about it. We don't go into the schematics of prison. We don't, you know what I'm saying? We don't get real, hardcore about it. We just kind of have a, just a
And
conversation.
prison is
That's
not
all.
a good analogy, especially when we equating that to our birthright and our land. This is what makes this shit serious, Ty Data. It's a serious thing because we're actively fighting a war.
Okay, now see that right there. See, now when you say words, now see, I would take that serious. You see what I'm saying? When you say that, I wouldn't joke with that. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's not nothing I would
Everything coincides
you see what I'm saying?
to
I
what
know.
we're talking about, right?
Right.
Everything is a part of this warfare.
I know, but but to me, a war wouldn't be like on the internet. You know what I'm saying? Talk.
So,
you know what I'm saying? It would be a little bit different.
warfare
But
to
if you want to
change the
have a
of your
conversation about it, I can have a conversation about it. It's not nothing normally I have a conversation about, but I can conversate about it.
But Ty, a conversation can have different connotations, right? If me and you just having a conversation just for the pure intentions, that's one thing, right? But if the perception of the conversation is pure intentions, but in true reality, I'm saying certain things to actually change the paradigm or the understanding of it, right? Then it's not just a conversation anymore.
Right.
It
So
has
what
a
will be the
propaganda.
purpose of the conversation? That will be the main point of the conversation is the purpose. So what is the purpose of us talking about self-government? What would be the purpose of us, me and you, having this conversation? That's what I'm talking about. You see what I'm saying? So, if your purpose is, what would be your purpose of having this conversation? My purpose would be just to have a conversation. That's why I just want to have a conversation, have some, talk about it.
Uh,
Let's get some real stuff
my,
out. Let's get some serious stuff. You know what I'm saying? Let's get some little schematics. Let's throw some real ideas out there. Let's throw some real shit out there, and then just have a conversation to see where it goes. You know what I'm saying?
my
So
purpose. Let me tell you my purpose. My purpose is just like anything that I orate or project. Right. My purpose is to try to internalize and understand and understand exactly what has happened in every form or facet, so that whatever happened historically doesn't happen again. Right. So like, I'm not just willy nilly or just having conversation just to have a conversation. I'm actually analyzing information and trying to implement it and utilize it and manifest it within my reality so that it does not reoccur in my paradigm.
Absolutely. And I want to add to that. Definitely, that is the mission. That's just the mission. That's the call right there.
Right.
That is what it is, because to have what they call small talk is what it is. Small talk. It's not big talk. It's a lot of small talk shows out there. I don't watch none of them. I don't participate because it's small. It's not big. It's not large. You don't hear Jay-Z just whatever, or anybody else just whatever. They making business moves or big talk. It ain't conversation just for conversation's sake. That's something small talkers do. Can't do business deal or put schematics on the deck, because in order to do schematics, you got to know something about science and architecture and drawings and all of this other stuff and CAD and everything else to have something called schematic, and then you got to talk about it. That's all you talk about.
But that's what I do for a living, so you know.
Well, that's all you talk about then.
Right.
If that's all
So if we want to talk schematics, like I would literally schematic this whole damn panel to sleep. Like that's what I do for a living. I'm known for that. That's why they call me the cyborg. So that I'm known for schematics. But I'm not going to force that on any of you guys. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to make you guys into what I am, or make you guys into what I want you to be.
But Ty,
you know what I'm saying?
if this was the Tech Cyborg show, it would be, because just like the Jerry Springer show or anybody else's show, or whoever got a show out there, it all has a different platform, a different theme, and all of that. So if this was a tech show, then we would be talking about tech stuff, and then you would have guests on that talk about tech stuff, because that's what you would be talking about.
Right.
If this is an Aborigine joint, so that's what we're talking about.
Right. And so and so just having a conversation, like nothing's wrong with that, right? Like you guys okay with having a conversation, or is that like, you know, third dimension? You know what I'm saying?
No, we're saying this is the conversation.
There is no other conversation.
Right. This
right. But see, because I'm you know what I'm saying, because it's sort of, you know, because it's like, you know, it's like it's kind of like, you know, it's some military drill shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like we not human no more. You know what I'm saying? We just straight just lost our personality and just went just straight. You know what I'm saying? It's like we, you know what I'm saying? We regular people. You know what I'm saying? We regular people.
We're not regular people.
You know what I'm saying?
We're not regular people. We are not regular people.
We have been dumbed down, bro.
Well, to each other, to each other. I mean, I don't know who you comparing us with, but to each other, you know what I'm saying? We would be normal to each other. You know what I'm saying? Like if, you know, I don't think you know, I mean, we all might be a little weird. We all on the internet. We all might be a little weird, but
no such thing as
we resent the idea or the notion of any suggestion of us being a cult. You know, we are just getting into and reconnecting to our ancestry, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with loving on the fact that we are Aborigine and uniting under that umbrella, that which has been hidden from us, that knowledge which has been fragmented, covered up, a whole various slew of words that I could describe what has been done to our people. So, you know, we just
no, Auntie. No, I'm sorry. No. There was not to say that we are a code or nothing like that. So if you took it like that, I'm sorry. What I was trying to express
I'm just going by your words.
Okay,
that's kind of what you perceive. That's exactly what the
okay. Well, let me straighten that up then. Let me straighten that up then.
Like 2 or 3 times. I was about to say.
Yeah. So what I'm
clean up on aisle 7, but don't put that on me. Bro.
Right. But what I'm trying to say is that, like, I've been watching the YouTubes. I've been watching the YouTubers. I've been here for about 2 years. You know, maybe a little, or 3 years and some change. And I see all these cult followers, and I see some of the chat rooms, and they have this same one tone, one vibe, one rule, my shit ass tone. You know what I'm saying? And so so what I'm trying to say is you know what I'm saying, when I see that, you know what I'm saying, it kind of, you know, it kind of put me on edge a little bit. And so, you know, when I ask just a simple question, you know, and because I see people do that, you know, on these cult channels. Like you have somebody like Chief Holiday, you have somebody in the chat room, and they would ask, you know, just like a question, and the dude would just be like, oh man, you know what I'm saying, because it's like, because he has his cult to, you know what I'm saying, to keep
notions.
Right. You know what I'm saying? And so I wasn't saying that you doing that. I was just saying I just want to make sure that, you know what I'm saying, I just want to let it be known, like we don't tolerate that. And when I say we don't tolerate that, you are included in the we. You see what I'm saying? So this channel, all of us on this, all of us on this.
I think it's a fine line between the two, because what some people would think is extremism or perceive it as something occultish, for people who haven't been unified in hundreds of years would be a beautiful thing, right?
Right.
So you can't allow your understanding or overstanding to dictate your perception of what actual reality is. You got to be able to have the power of discernment for yourself as well, right?
And you got the right to speak on it, right?
Truth.
Right.
Truth.
Right. So you would be in the we. So when I say we don't like no cults and shit like that, you would be in that. So that include everybody on this panel and
but
everybody on this channel.
That's not a common understanding
Hey, what's
of
going on?
your
Peace,
what
y'all.
your
Well,
definition of a cult is, which is what the problem is. You see what I'm saying? If we all had a common understanding of a cult or a common understanding of the information we're talking about, then it would have been a lot smoother, or we would have had a base understanding.
Well, here's another thing about that, whether you have a base understanding or a great understanding. Having an opinion is having an opinion, but the truth is the truth. And
Right.
I think a lot of people, having an opinion means a lot to them because in some aspects, your opinion is your truth because some people's opinion is based off what things they have experienced. But this is the thing. When you are asking for solutions, because if I don't care what channel I've been on, what video I've seen on YouTube, for how long, only thing that I keep seeing people say, well, what is the solution?
That's true, brother.
What is the solution? And that's the pattern I see. And then to what you're saying, Ty, everybody is against the solution because they're not putting forth the action. They so busy scrutinizing, and not to say that we shouldn't screen and look into information that people bring, but the thing is, a lot of this stuff has been here. A lot of this stuff is working for people. So if we bringing you something and we giving you a solution, how about try it instead of giving your opinion about how it don't work when you haven't tried it?
But see, that's what I'm saying. You're saying my argument. You see
We're
what I'm saying?
saying the same thing, Ty Data.
Right. Right. That's what I just said.
We are always saying the same thing from a different perspective.
Like what you saying,
and that's
bro?
what we're trying to get you to understand, as well as anybody who's listening. There is no difference. It's just perception. It's it.
Right. But this, you know what I'm saying? This is a good healthy conversation because you know what? At the end of the day, we all have our perception. You know what I'm saying? That's what it boils down to. We each individual one of us, we all have our own perception. Now, who's to say that yours is better than mine? Who's to say his is better than his? And so that's where, you know what I'm saying, that's where guys like Coda come in. You know what I'm saying? Because Coda been through it. He been through it. You see what I'm saying? So it's not to say his is better than ours, but it's to say, let's hear it from a person who's a little farther than you. Let's hear it from a person who knows a little something about it. You see what I'm saying? Now, you see what I'm saying?
Agree.
So that's where he comes in. But at the same time, we just can't say, well, he know a little something, he been something, and so he's just the king around here. You know what I'm saying? So we can't do that either. You know what I'm saying?
You got to actually look at the amount of energy that's been invested in actually bringing forth that reality.
So when we throw out some little questions or we throw out something, you know what I'm saying? It's okay to just be able to have a conversation about it. You know what I'm saying?
But
because if I'm to say
into account, Ty Data, the amount of energy that has been invested in this little conversation that you're trying to have about this big subject.
Okay.
Also, another thing is we don't have time to, I'm gonna say it, pussyfoot around what it is that the solution, the answers that we want to have, or the things that we want to do. We don't have time to teach to baby step everybody.
This is not a casual thing.
Right? Yeah, we can't.
We are currently under occupation.
Hold on. When you say we, who is we? Who is we? We all included in we, right?
You know what? No, I'm talking to Aboriginals. If you consider
I'm included in that. So I'm included in that.
If you
That's
consider
your choice,
yourself,
Ty. That's
No,
your
I'm
choice.
asking him because it's his choice.
I know,
It's his
and
mind.
I'm saying what I'm saying. If you consider yourself an Aboriginal, if you understand what that is to be an Aboriginal, and that's including Indian or whatever you choose, what title you choose to have under that particular understanding. The point is, if you understand that this is your land, there is some things that you have to do yourself. Coda can't do it. I can't do it. Ty Data can't do it.
True.
It is something that you have to do. So asking somebody else what it is that they're doing or how they're doing it, yes, that's cool if you're going to apply it, but just to ask it just for the sake of asking and not applying anything, I mean, what are we doing? That's the same thing everybody else keeps saying. We're just
And we've been getting that for a long time, bro. We've been getting that as far as from the people who've been teaching this, and people who've been asking. They're like, well, what do I do? Well, how do I do this? And how do I do that? Like, not understanding what we're telling you is you have to get in the fight. You can't have this shit broke down to you and then to no cookie cutter way of how it's gonna work, y'all. It don't work like that. Each individual Aborigine has his own path and his own responsibilities and his own roles in what we call this manifestation of life.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We got our own role to play in this great drama of life. Absolutely.
So you're right. We're going to have our own perceptions, right? But in true reality, we share a common paradigm and we share commonalities, right? So I can't discredit the common paradigm that we all share on certain things because I want to live in my own reality or what I choose to as well, right? So it's a line between the two.
Yes,
but
that duty and responsibility thing.
Exactly. I was just about to get there.
Yeah.
If you're gonna,
but when it actually come to building and when it actually come to schematics, you know what I'm saying? Everybody got their own lane. You know what I'm saying? So we all have a highway. So, you know what I'm saying? So if we was really, want to break it down, you know what I'm saying, we would then first, put our lane out there. So that way, I won't be over here, in other people's lanes. You know what I'm saying?
But check this out. The whole point of a
But
schematic
hold
is
on,
to be
hold on.
cross-cutting.
But you know what I'm saying? And so by us just having the conversation, I feel we having the conversation. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't know all each other. We don't know all each other's lane. So if we gonna build something, you know what I'm saying, there should be something out there. There should be something out there. From the jump. You know what I'm saying?
I think that's a micro way of looking at it because.
Well, how we gonna work if I don't know what you can do? You know what I'm saying?
But this is what I'm saying.
Can I
if I don't know
for a second?
2 seconds, two seconds, Coda.
Yeah.
In law, right? If you're not able to handle your own affairs, then you're not able to self-govern. Same applies.
Right, but
okay?
that's and who lane would that be? Like who would be the one who bring
my
that to
point
the
is this: you can't pick a particular lane because you're not comfortable in other lanes.
Well. When you're building something, you want the best person for the job to do it. Just like in the basketball team, they have certain people play certain positions. You see what I'm saying? Just like in the corporate structure, you have the corporate ladder. Just like even in the tribe or in the government, you have certain people in certain areas. You don't want the lunch lady teaching your kids. You know what I'm saying?
Hell no, Ty. You have a responsibility to your descendants and your lineage, bro, to put forth every ounce of effort in your existence.
And the best way to apply that is in
There's no excuse.
No, ain't no excuse. But you have to slow down. What's the best way to apply?
I'm just saying this. I believe that's a cop out by saying, oh, well, I don't really feel like putting in really hours and hours and hours that it took for these people to understand this shit to give it to me, right? I don't want to do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick a lane, right, and try to create a conglomerate because in true reality, I don't want to stand on my own, which is what is necessary to be an indigenous Aborigine, to be a god.
Oh, okay, but see, I'm guessing you don't understand corporate structure. You see what I'm
I
saying?
understand it
Because that's
perfectly.
how well that's how corporate structure works, and that's how structure works.
Does the
And that's why I'm
Even
saying we're
does
even
not
the
even
corporate
if you
structures, though.
does
even
the
That's our
CEO
thing.
but corporate structure goes with a tribe. Corporate structure goes
the
with self-government.
CEO the
I mean, we can
CEO knows
change the
how to
language any way we
do
want
the
to.
job,
We can speak
correct?
another language if we want to, but either way it go, it's gonna be some type of structure. And so
Does
if
the
I have
CEO
talents and I'm the best at the world at something, then put me where I'm the best at. Don't have me over here with some shit over here that I might not, you know what I'm saying,
I understand
that I
that.
might not be
That's
that beneficial.
logistically.
You see what I'm saying?
That's
That I
the
might not
that's
be.
logistically though.
Hold on. That I might not be that beneficial in. You see what I'm saying? So it will serve the community best is to if to put the best person on the best job. You know what I'm saying?
But you can't
If you's the
yourself.
best lawyer to go down there to the
Hey,
people or whatever you want to call it, then you know what I'm saying? Then let the people who's the best, who's the top people in that field. You know what I'm saying?
I
Let
understand
them.
what
You know
you're
what I'm
saying,
saying?
but that doesn't apply in the reality that we living in, and that's what I'm trying to give you back the power, right? You
That's
relinquish your power, then
we.
you are subject to whatever happens to you, bro.
Tag,
Well,
you're not listening.
cause you have you like you have your talents, right? You have your things that you do, and so you know that you know you could
But I
feed your
do my
family, right?
listen.
But you
I
could
do my
feed
due
your
diligence
family
to
with
be
those
well versed
talents,
in
right?
all facets that's necessary for the survival of my descendants and myself,
Right, and
whatever
so
it is.
you're able to feed your family with those talents.
So it doesn't matter if I'm good at one thing or another, Tadeda. The point is to sustain life and whatever is necessary in that form of facet.
See, that's on something way different. You know what I'm saying? That's a whole
But
nother
it's
subject.
not,
You know what I'm saying?
Tadeda.
Yeah,
But
that's
You
a
it's
don't
whole
not.
nother
understand
subject.
there's many lanes
You
in
talking
life.
about sustaining
We
life.
go through
I'm
many
talking
phases
about,
and
you know,
play
building
many
something.
lanes
You
and
know what I'm saying?
roads.
With other
Right,
human
and you
beings.
There ain't
building
no one
something,
lane,
and you
bro.
building
It's
something
many
to
lanes.
sustain life, Ty.
Right.
What you mean?
There's a lot of
Wasn't
lanes. You know what I'm
nobody
saying?
born to be,
But
but you play a lot of them at the same time.
yeah,
And here's
sometimes you have to.
no
But the whole
all the
point
time. Ty
is
Data,
that
hold on,
you
all the time. No. You got it misunderstood. And allow me to correct it. Let me throw some stuff in there to think about. How about this? As a child, and it ain't nothing different as a grown man, you gotta be in different lanes. You gotta be in a child mother lane or a parent to child lane. You gotta be in a teacher to student lane when you go to school. You gotta be in a friend or not friend lane in school and navigate all of that. And if you got a job, you gotta be in an employee boss lane. And it's different lanes.
True.
Different lanes, brother.
right,
All in the
right,
same day. So
right.
your lane, like the brother was saying, is to your duty is to your people, regardless of the job you do. Because if you get fired from one job or don't nobody like your stylings of comedy or your show and they don't support you, then what's your lane now? You ain't got one. You stuck with schematics. And the point of schematics is to cross cut so other people can understand them, like blueprints. It ain't just you looking at the damn blueprints because you ain't the builder. The point of the blueprints is to convey to the builder the wishes of the owner who's getting the building done. It's the point of schematics and
Well, that's
blueprints.
electronic schematics. There's different type forms of
It
schematics as
doesn't
well.
matter.
You know what I'm
Listen
saying? There's different
carefully.
forms. But
Tie data,
anyway, is
tie data,
I
tie
understand what
data,
you're saying,
tie
and it's a
data,
very good
tie
point.
data.
But it's not nowhere what I'm talking about.
But you're
You see
Hey,
what
not
I'm
tie
saying?
data.
internalizing it.
You're not
So what I'm talking
internalizing what I'm
about is I'm
saying.
talking
You're not
about building
internalizing.
something with other people. I'm not talking about a man going to school and having a baby and have to wash clothes and do like that's something way different. I don't disagree with that. You know what I'm saying? I'm
That's your
talking
lane.
about, you know what I'm saying? I'm
That's your
talking about
lane.
a person with a skill set. Okay, that means skills. That means they can go anywhere in the planet and they can have skills to apply anywhere. You know what I'm
Let me
saying?
ask you a question. No.
And so with those
So
skills, you know what I'm saying, if you
Say
bring those
so.
skills to your community, because we want people to come to the community with their skills. If you have a trade, if you have skills and you bring them skills to your community, you